Lindsey Nelson. Greeting you on a scorching hot night from Connie Mack Stadium in Philadelphia. The final game of the series between the New York Mets and the Philadelphia Phillies. The temperature reached 100 degrees in Philadelphia today, the hottest day of the summer. For the starting lineups and batting orders for tonight's ball game, let's touch bases with Ralph Kane.
All right, Bob Murphy, for the New York Mets. Tommy Agee will lead off. He'll be batting second, the shortstop, Bud Harrelson. Batting third, playing left field, Cleo. Batting fourth at first base, John Clendenin. Batting fifth, playing right field, Ron Swoboda. Batting sixth and playing third base, Joe Foy. Batting seventh and catching, Jerry Grote. Batting eighth and playing second base, Al White. And the pitcher, ninth. Larry Bohr will be the leadoff batter. He'll be playing shortstop. Batting second, the second baseman, Tony Taylor. Batting third, playing third, Don Money. Batting fourth at first base, Darren Johnson. Batting fifth, playing left field, Joe List. Batting sixth and catching, Tim McCarver. Batting right field, Byron Brown. Batting eighth, the center fielder, Larry Heisel. And the pitcher, Chris Short, batting ninth. The Mets have played the Phillies 17 ball games. This is the last game of the year between these two clubs. The Mets have won 12 and lost 5, and here at Connie Mack Stadium, the Mets have won 6 of the 8 games played. The Mets start their action with a record of 80 wins and 74 losses. They are 3 games back in the loss column to the Pittsburgh Pirates, who lead over the Chicago Cubs by 2 games. Mets are in third place, 3 games back. And now from Connie Mack Stadium in Philadelphia, our national anthem. Philadelphia Phillies for the final time this year. The weather report here at Connie Mack Stadium, 84 degrees. It was up to 100 earlier today. Humidity 75%. So it is a hot, humid night at Connie Mack Stadium. Light breeze blowing out toward center field. And this ball game is just about to get underway. And here for the play-by-play, Lindsey Nelson.
Thank you very much, Ralph Cannon. Hello, everybody. It's Tommy Agee stepping in to lead off now for the New York Mets. He's hitting .280, 24 homers, 73 runs batted in. We are getting underway 10 minutes late here at Connie Mack Stadium because of the lateness in turning on the lights. Here is the pitch. And it's high for a ball. Chris Short on the mound has won 9 games and he has lost 15. Left-hander. Against the Mets this year, he's won 2 and lost 1. His lifetime record against them is 11 and 5. There's a breaking pitch in for a called strike. Dick Stello is the umpire behind the plate. The commissioner of baseball, Bowie Schoen, is here tonight. He was present at a press gathering late this afternoon here at the ballpark. Here is a 1-1 pitch to Agee. Swung on and hit deep to center field. Going back is Larry Heisel, and he makes the catch way back in left center. Left his feet to haul down the drive that was hit more than 400 feet by Tommy Agee. So there's one away. That'll bring up Bud Harrelson, switch-hitting shortstop with a .239 average, 1 home run, 41 runs batted in. Harrelson's batting right against the left-hander Chris Short. The Phillies are playing an infield of Darren Johnson at first, Tony Taylor at second, Larry Boa at shortstop, and Don Money at third. This pitch is a little low. Leon Jones moves out on deck. The outfield alignment is Joe List in left, Larry Heisel in center, and Byron Brown in right field. It's a hot night in Philadelphia. Here's a swing and a drive in the air to deep left. Going back is List. He's way back, and he makes the catch at the edge of the warning track. The Mets have blasted 2 shots here for put-out, as Harrelson sent List back to the edge of the warning track in front of the seats out there in left. 2 men out. Cleon Jones is the batter, hitting .284. He has 10 homers and 63 runs batted in. Chris Short delivers. Swung on, and it's hit in the air to right field. And Byron Brown is there underneath and waiting, and all 3 of the put-outs are in the outfield here in the first inning. Nothing across. In the middle of the first inning, the score is the New York Mets nothing, and the Phillies coming to pass.
When you get the leaping hungries and your stomach wears a frown, a cheeseburger from McDonald's will help to calm you down. Because the burger's made of pure beef and the cheese is creamy nice. And the best part of the whole thing is McDonald's tasty price. It's a bargain and scrumptious good eating. So smile, son, and say cheese.
A McDonald's cheeseburger, some French fries, and a Coke. Sounds good, doesn't it? McDonald's can put good food in your family and change back in your pocket.
You've heard about the dollar. It used to buy a bunch. Now when you try to use one, you can hardly get a lunch. Except at McDonald's. Now maybe this sounds strange, but pass the buck to us and we'll pass you back some change like nickels and pennies and dimes and other curious little round pieces of metal.
At McDonald's, a dollar makes you a big spender. McDonald's can put good food in your family and change back in your pocket.
WOKO, the home of the Mets, Fuller Capital District.
Ray Sadecki is the pitcher on the mound tonight for the New York Mets. The left-hander has a record of 8 wins and 4 losses against the Phillies this year. He's won 2 and he's lost none. Sadecki's lifetime record against the Phillies is 15 wins and 13 losses. Larry Boa is up to lead off. He is a switch hitter. Batting right, he has an 18-game hitting streak going, and it's the longest Philly hitting streak since Pancho Herrera in 1960. We have the warm-up for the game scheduled at Yankee Stadium now on the Western Union ticker. Now here's the pitch. Swung on, and it stops up foul and might be playable to Grody. He gets rid of the mask, and Grody moves over and makes the catch. So Larry Boa has fouled out to catcher Jerry Grody, and Tony Taylor is coming up. Taylor's hitting .292, 9 home runs and 53 runs batted in. The warm-up, Joe Coleman for Washington and Rob Gardner, a former Met, just back from Syracuse, starting tonight for the New York Yankees. Earlier, there had been an indication that the game in New York might be postponed because of a power shortage. As a matter of fact, information was moved to the effect that it had been. Obviously, that is countermanded by the moving of the pitchers warming up. Tony Taylor. Sadecki's pitch in for a strike. If he moved up instead of bunt.
Lindsay, I'll never forget a comment by Rob Gardner that he made on our postgame show on TV. He saw himself pitch for the first time on TV. He threw a curveball, and his comment was, "My gosh, even I could hit that."
But he couldn't. Here's a pitch, and it's high for a ball. It's 1-1. In St. Louis, a twilight doubleheader tonight between the Chicago Cubs and the St. Louis Cardinals at the end of 4 innings. The Cardinals 2 and the Cubs 1. Ferguson Jenkins against Bob Gibson. They were rained out last night. 2 balls, 1 strike to Tony Taylor with Don Money waiting on deck.
Rob had a great year at Syracuse, and we certainly want to wish him luck. He was a fine fellow with the Mets.
2 deliveries. And it's on away for a ball. It's 3-1. The Mets have an infield here tonight of Don Clendon at first base, Al Weiss at second base, Bud Harrelson at short, and Joe Foy at third. Leon Jones in left, Tommy Agee in center, Ron Swoboda playing right field. Here's a foul ball backing out of play. It's 3-2. The story of Dick Selma's verbal barrage released after last night's game was the big baseball story in here in Philadelphia in the morning papers, which in a fit of temper, Selma had said that he thought the game was fixed and thought that umpire should be investigated. Commissioner Bowie Kuhn before the game told the press that he thought that the penalty was sufficient. Here's a swing and a drive into center field for a base hit. And it is on by Agee, and it'll be extra bases for Tony Taylor. He's at second on his way to third. Relay coming in, and at third base he is safe. So Tony Taylor is at third. It is a single and a 2-base error charged against Tommy Agee in center field. It was a line drive, but Agee came over to try to come up with it and play it back, and instead he came up empty, and the ball went on by. For a 2-base error, a good relay might have made it a closer play at third. Foy had to come off the bag at third to get the relay, then dive back across to try to get Taylor and could not. Don Money's up now. 1 man out, runner at third. No score. Phillies threatening in the bottom half of the first inning. There's a pitch to the right-hand batter. Low for a ball. Grody bluffs the throw to third. Taylor gets back to the bag in a hurry. It's ball 1. Pitch. Foul back and out of play. It's 1-1. There was word tonight that the umpires themselves did not feel that the $500 fine of Selma was sufficient penalty, and that they, with their reports, of course, would work toward his suspension. Here's a 1-1 pitch. And it is low for a ball. 2-1. Sadecki takes the sign from Jerry Grody. Offers 2-1. Swung on and foul back. It's 2-2. The official temperature in Philadelphia today reached 95 degrees, the highest of the fall season in downtown Philadelphia. A reading of 100 was recorded at mid-afternoon. 2-2 pitch. Swung on it on the ground to third. Foy can't handle it off his glove. The run scores. Throw to first is in time. Joe Foy on the edge of the infield grass knocked it down. Came up, so he had no play at the plate. So then threw on to first for the putout, but the run scored. And now Darren Johnson is the batter. The Phils are leading by a score of 1-0. Johnson's hitting .254. The pitch is in for a called strike. Johnson has 27 home runs and 87 runs batted in. Joe Foy got to the ground ball all right, just did not handle it. Low for a ball. No error charge, of course, because he did make the putout at first base. As far as the Mets are concerned, it would have been much better made at the plate. Here's the 1-1 delivery. It's high and away for a ball. 2 balls and a strike. Joe List is out on deck for the Philadelphia Phillies. Here's a 2-1 pitch. Fastball in there for a call. Strike 2. It's 2-2. George Brunette is the starter tonight for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Something of a surprise move. Carl Morton is starting for Montreal in Pittsburgh. Pitch is low, 3-2. It had been presumed that Steve Blass would start tonight, but he's not starting. George Brunette is. So apparently Danny Murtaugh is juggling his pitchers. Here's a payoff pitch. It is low, and it's a walk to Darren Johnson. First walk issued by Ray Sadecki. Puts Johnson on at first, and Joe List is coming up. List is hitting .200, 1 homer, and 4 runs batted in. Right-hand batting left fielder. Pitch is high for a ball. It's 1-0. Now again, Sadecki checks. Here's a pitch that's foul back and out of play. So Danny Murtaugh of the Pittsburgh Pirates here in the stretch drive has gone into his bullpen and pulled out George Burnett as a starter. Earlier in the drive up at Montreal, Leo DeRocha of the Chicago Cubs reached into his bullpen and pulled out Bob Miller and posted him as a starter. 1-1 pitch. Curveball, a little high. 2 balls and a strike now to Joe List. Darren Johnson leads at first. Here's a 2-1 pitch, fired low and inside. 3-1 to List with Tim McCarver next in the order. One pitch is high for a ball. That's the second consecutive walk issued by Ray Sadecki. Darren Johnson moves to second. Joe List is on at first. Left-hand batting catcher Tim McCarver is coming up with a .244 average. 3 homers, 6 runs batted in. We pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is WOKO in Albany, New York. Our temperature 74 degrees. Cohoes Savings Bank time is now 2 minutes until 8 o'clock. Time to look into a low-cost life insurance savings bank plan at Cohoes Savings Bank.
Nelson with Ralph Conner and Bob Murphy at Connie Mack Stadium in Philadelphia, where the Phillies are leading the Mets by a score of 1-0. Nolan Ryan gets up to throw down in the bullpen for the New York Mets. Sadecki has walked Darren Johnson and Joe List back-to-back here with 2 men out in the bottom of the first inning. Pitch to McCarver is low for a ball. Now here comes pitching coach Rube Walker out to the mound. Pitching coach Rube Walker wiping perspiration as he comes out of the dugout, heads for the mound for a talk with Ray Sadecki. The Mets will fly on to Pittsburgh at the conclusion of this ball game tonight. Tomorrow is an off day, and they will then resume against the Pittsburgh Pirates on Friday night, a big series at Three Rivers Stadium. Friday night, Saturday afternoon, and Sunday afternoon. We'll be broadcasting and televising all 3 games from Pittsburgh this weekend. Then the Mets will be back at Shea Stadium in New York on Monday night to start a series of 4 consecutive games against the Chicago Cubs to close out the regular National League season. The finale set for a 7:05 p.m. start Thursday night, October 1st. Now, here's a pitch that's low. Sadecki goes behind 2-0 to McCarver. Mets started the night trailing the Pittsburgh Pirates by 3 and the Chicago Cubs by 1. Sadecki's pitch swung on it on the ground to third. Joe Foy up with the ball. He'll go to first and in time. Close play, but McCarver is out. So the Phillies got a run. On a hit, there was an error, 2 walks and 2 left, and at the end of an inning, the score is the Phillies 1 and the Mets nothing. Plans for a mail order sale of Boston reserve seats for a possible National League Championship Series at Shea Stadium have been announced for the Mets. Mail order applications for Boston reserve seats must be postmarked on or after midnight Thursday, September 24th to be considered. Tickets will be sold only in 2-game strips with a limit of 2 strips per person. Upper stand reserve general admission seats are priced at $3 each, $6 per strip. Reserve seats are priced at $5 each, $10 per strip. Box seats are $7 each, $14 per strip. Mail orders for more than 2 strips will not be considered. Only applications accompanied by a certified check, a money order, or a cashier's check will be considered and should be addressed to Post Office Box 1970, Flushing, New York, zip code 11352. Each order must include an additional $1 to cover the cost of mailing and handling. Championship Series is scheduled to open on Saturday, October 3rd in the city of the Eastern Division winner. After 2 games, the site will move to Cincinnati, home of the Western Division champs. In the event the Championship Series is not played at Shea Stadium, tickets can be redeemed at any of the more than 300 branches of the Chase Manhattan or Manufacturers Hanover Trust Company Bank. Now the Mets come up in the top of the second inning, and it's Don Clendenon. Clendenon is hitting .291. He has 20 home runs and 90 runs batted, and he's right-hand batted. Facing left-hand pitcher Chris Short into the motion. The pitch is on the way. Foul back and out of play. It's strike one. The appearance of Commissioner Bowie Kuhn here today had nothing at all to do with the activities of last night and the dispute that ensued. Here's a pitch, high and away for a ball. The commissioner has made it a practice to visit each of the ballparks in the major leagues at least one time. His earlier visit, scheduled here at Connie Mack Stadium, had to be postponed and was reset for today. Here's a 1-1 pitch. Low, it hit in front of the plate, comes on by. And just by the plate umpire, Dick Stello, and the crowd gets a kick out of that. It's 2 balls and a strike. The Phillies are leading here by a score of 1-0. Chris Short into the motion. Pitch is foul back and out of play. It's 2-2 to Clendenon. Philadelphia Phillies have announced that the last ball game to be played at Connie Mack Stadium will be here on the night of October 1st when they'll meet the Montreal Expos. 2-2 pitch. Swung on it on the ground to short. A big hop up to Larry Bohr. Across to Darren Johnson in time, and Clendenon's out. Ron Swoboda's the batter. He's hitting .230 with 9 homers and 40 runs batted in. There was an editorial today, however, in a Philadelphia newspaper, which said, don't take that announcement too seriously, because the same announcement was made for the closing date last year. They had presumed that the Phils would be playing in their new stadium this year, and it didn't turn out that way. As a matter of fact, right now, all work has been stopped on the new stadium, and there is no completion date, no projection. That is in for a called strike. Swoboda appeared as a pinch hitter last night in the 9th against Selma and struck out on 3 pitches. Chris Short delivers. Swung on and missed. It's strike 2 to Ron Swoboda. Tim McCarver sends out the sign. There's nobody on. 2-strike delivery. Fired a little low, so it's 1-2. Joe Foy waiting around there on deck. Chris Short takes his cap off to mop the perspiration. 1-2 pitch. Swung on and missed. Got him with a breaking pitch. That is the first strikeout for Short. It's Swoboda swinging, 2 away, and Joe Foy is the batter. Foy is hitting .241 for the year. He's had 6 homers and 37 runs batted in. Here's Short with the pitch. Fastball low, and it's ball 1. There was a time when Chris Short was one of the slowest workers in the major league. But he had back surgery, and since he's come back from the operation, he works considerably faster than he once did. That's in for a call strike. Short used to be the master of moving the dirt around out on the mound. He'd move it over to one side and then over to the other with his cue. Strange as I say this, he's doing the same thing right now. But one year his teammates presented him with a set of toy garden milk tubes. They thought that he could do a little gardening out there. That's a fastball high and away for a ball. It's 2-1. 2 men out, nobody on base, and the Phillies lead by a score of 1-0. Now the 2-1 offering in there for a call strike 2. It's 2-2 to Joe Foy. The Mets starting the night with a record of 80 wins and 74 losses. The Cubs have won 80 and lost 72, and the Pirates have won 83 and lost 71. 2-2 delivery. Swung on and missed. George strikes out Joe Foy. Gets the side in order. The Mets have not yet had a base runner. Nothing across, and in the middle of the second inning, the score is the Phillies 1 and the Mets nothing.
We've always maintained at the bank that our regular checking account is even better than money. It's safer, more businesslike. You can mail a check, and you can make deposits and withdrawals at any office of the bank. Anyway, we wondered just how many people agreed with us that a regular checking account at the bank is even better than money. So we asked a few people. Excuse me, madam. I'm with the National Commercial Bank and Trust Company.
So?
Well, I wonder, madam, can you think of anything that's even better than money?
Well, not offhand.
Well, we decided that maybe we were asking the question the wrong way, so we tried it another way. Excuse me, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Would you say that a regular checking account at the bank is safer, more convenient, and more businesslike than money?
Yes. Sounds pretty good to me.
Well, there you have it. A regular checking account at the bank. It sounds pretty good to him.
The bank, National Commercial Bank and Trust Company, is a member of the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation.
WOKO, the home of the Mets for the Capital District.
The Phillies will be coming up now in the second inning, and it'll be Byron Brown, the right field, that'll lead off. Facing Ray Sadecki. Brown is hitting .250, 10 homers, 36 runs batted in. At the end of 5 full innings, the Cardinals 2 and the Cubs 1. Ferguson Jenkins 20 and 15 against Bob Gibson 22 and 6. Pitches in for a called strike. Montreal is at Pittsburgh. Carl Morton 16 and 11 against George Brunette, who has no won or loss record with the Pirates since coming over from the Washington Senators. In for a called strike. The Cubs and the Cardinals are playing a doubleheader tonight. San Diego is at Atlanta. Steve Arlen against Pat Jarvis, who's won 16, lost 13. Houston's at Cincinnati. Jack Bellingham 12 and 8 against Tony Cloninger 14 and 9. Pitch is inside for a ball. And the Giants play the Dodgers on the West Coast. The Chicago Cubs did not score in the top of the sixth. Going to the bottom of the sixth, Cards 2, and the Cubs won first game. 1-2 the count. The Byron Brown is followed by Larry Heisel. Washington is in New York. It's Joe Coleman 8 and 10 against Rob Gardner, no record. Cleveland beat Boston 5-2. Steve Hargan over Ken Breck. The Hawk Harrelson had his first homer. Vern Fuller had one, and Joe LaHoo had one. Now 1-2 pitch to Byron Brown. High and away. Chicago White Sox beat Kansas City 6-0. Bart Johnson got the win, and Paul Splittorff took the loss. Charlie McKinney had a home run. California's at Milwaukee later. 2-2 pitch. A little high. Detroit is at Baltimore, but it's postponed because of a power shortage, and they'll play tomorrow afternoon. Minnesota is at Oakland, and the Twins already have clinched the title, the pennant, in the Western Division of the American League. This will be a payoff pitch to Byron Brown, and it's on the way. Swung on and missed. Ray Sadecki gets his first strikeout. That'll bring up Larry Heisel, the center fielder who's hitting .200 for the year, 9 home runs and 41 runs batted in. Championship series in the American League will be between the very same two teams who played for it last year. Minnesota against Baltimore. You may recall Baltimore swept in 3 straight last year. The best 3 of 5 series. 10 for a call strike. In the National League last year, it was the New York Mets against the Atlanta Braves, and the New York Mets swept in 3 straight. Cincinnati has already clinched now in the West. Breaking pitch swung on and missed. 2 strikes to Heisel. He's followed by Chris Short. The Phils are leading 1-0. Championship Series is scheduled to start on Saturday, October 3rd in each league. That's high for a ball. It's 1-2. And the World Series will be scheduled to start the following Saturday. World Series will open up in the National League City this year. 1-2 pitch. High for a ball. 2-2. Sadecki's 2-2 delivery. Swung on and foul back. The count holds at 2-2. Jerry Grody sends out the sign. Pitch is a curveball missing high. So it goes 3 balls and 2 strikes now. Here's the payoff pitch. Swung on and hit in the air up the alley on right center field. It'll be extra bases for Heisel. He's around first on his way to second. Swoboda up with the ball, plays it back. It's a double for Larry Heisel. That ball went all the way to the scoreboard, out in right center. And Swoboda played it as it caromed off there. Chris Short coming up now. Pitcher is 3 for 58 this year at the plate. He's had 2 runs batted in. His average is .052. The Phils are leading 1-0. They have a runner at second with 1 man out in the bottom of the second inning. Low and inside for a ball. Sadecki sets. Offers 1-0. Fouled off and out of play. 1-1. Chris Short is a fellow who bails out up there at the plate on anything tight. Some pitches that aren't tight. It's not entirely unusual for a pitcher at the plate. More do than don't. They're swinging a ground ball to third, taken by Foy. He looks to runner, throws to first in time, no advance, 2 away. Chris Short with a ground ball right at Joe Foy at third base. Larry Bowa is coming up. He's been up 1 time and he fouled out to the catcher. There's an 18-game hitting streak and an average of .252 with 32 runs batted in. High for a ball. 1-0. Here's the 1-0 pitch. Fastball fired inside low. Sadecki goes behind 2-0 to Boa, and he's followed by Tony Taylor in the order. Pitch. Swung on and hit in the air down the right field line, carrying over toward the stands. Clendenin's giving chase. It's going out of play. In the second row of the stand, down the right field line. 2-1 is the count to Larry Bowa. Kick. Just a little more kick. That's one of the things that make RC stand out from the other Colas. A couple of sips and you'll catch the difference. Royal found Cola. Swinging a ground ball to short. Bud Harrelson has it. Goes across the first in time and the side is out. Larry Bohr grounding out short to first. No runs, a hit, no errors, and one left. And at the end of 2 innings of play, the score is the Phillies 1 and the Mets nothing.
Hi, everyone. I'm Charles Douglas Pitts, and I'm a night people here on WOKO. If you're a night people, too, or an insomniac, or if you're just hanging around between midnight and 6 a.m., lock your radio dial on 1460 WOKO and join me for the good old sound of America and some friendly chatter. Remember, you're only a stranger once on WOKO's Charles Douglas Pitts Show.
You're listening to the Sound of America, WOKO, 1460 Radio in Albany. WOKO brings you the best in good time music, all-American sports, and essential information 24 hours a day. Come on home to the Sound of America. Come on home to WOKO.
WOKO, the home of the Mets for the Capital District.
100. We're going now to the top of the third. The Mets coming up, trailing by 1, and here for the play-by-play, Bob Murphy.
All right, Ralph, Jerry Grody will lead off against the veteran left-hander Chris Short. Short has retired, the first 6 men to face him. However, the first 2 men up in the game, Tommy Agee and Bud Harrelson, both hit hard line drives to the outfield that were caught. And the pitch to Jerry Grody is outside, ball 1. Chris Short, the call, left-hander from the University of Delaware. Out practically all of last year after undergoing back surgery. Has come back to win 9 games this year. And a fastball outside, 2 balls and no strikes. Weiss, the on-deck batter, and then Ray Sadecki. Short has pitched 2 very strong ball games against the Mets this year. And a line drive hit hard down the right field line, a base hit by Jerry Grody. Jerry around first on his way to second, and he pulls in with a double. Hard hit drive over the head of Darren Johnson, down the right field line and into the corner. The Mets have their first base hit of the game, and the tying run is on second. Al Weiss coming up. Al batting at 210. Now Chris Short looking in to get his sign from Tim McCarver. Here's the pitch on the way. Curve at the knees, a call strike. The Chicago Cubs are out in the 6th inning in St. Louis. At the end of 5 1/2, the Cardinals 2 and the Cubs 1. Pitching duel between Ferguson Jenkins and Bob Gibson. Jenkins a 20-game winner, Gibson a 22-game winner. Jenkins has now won 20 or more 4 years in a row. And he's the only National League pitcher who can say that. And a foul ball hit back upstairs, no play. Montreal got a run in the first inning off George Brunette. Brunette, the left-hander, picked up from Washington, has been working out of the bullpen. He gets his first start. And the 16-game winner, Carl Morton, pitching tonight for Montreal. So the Expos scratched out a run in the first inning at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh. Left-hander Chris Short with a 2-strike count on Al Weiss. Jerry Grody on second, nobody out. And the pitch on the way. Fastball, strike 3 call. Third strikeout for Chris Short as he gets Al Weiss and brings up Ray Sadecki. Sadecki, a much better than average hitter for a pitcher, especially against right-handers, but in tonight's game he's up against a left-hander in Chris Short. The Mets pitching staff, Ray Sadecki and Danny Frisella, are both left-hand hitters. Both do very well against right-handers, but have a lot of trouble against southpaw pitchers. And a ground ball hit down the first baseline foul. Taken across the line by Darren Johnson, no play. The Phillies scored an unearned run in the first inning. And the Phillies lead 1-0. We're in the top half of the third. The Mets have done very well against the Phillies this year. They have won 12 of 17 ball games. An amazing thing, the Phillies 9 games over 500 against the Western Division National League teams this year. Against the Western Division, they won 40 and lost 31. Inside and low to Ray Sadecki. 1 ball, 1 strike. And the weatherman says more hot weather tomorrow. Chris Short with a count of 1-1 on Ray Sadecki. Grody the tying run on second, 1 down. And a chopper foul off to the left going toward the dugout of the Philadelphia Phillies. No play. 1 ball and 2 strikes. The Cubs and Cardinals playing a doubleheader. They were rained out last night. They waited a long time trying to get the game in. Second game of that doubleheader in St. Louis tonight. It will probably be rookie southpaw Jerry Royce pitching for the Cardinals and Bill Hands for Chicago. Now Short up in pitching position. The 1-2 delivery. Swing and a miss. He struck him out. He got him with a breaking ball. 4th strikeout for Chris Short, the 32-year-old left-hander. Now leadoff batter Tommy Agee comes up. And Tommy hit a long drive to left center starting the game off. That was caught on the dead run out on the edge of the warning track by Larry Heisler. Tommy had the game-winning hit last night when he singled off Dick Selma in the 9th inning, driving 2 runs in. Raised his RBI total for the year to 73. Grody leading off second. Here's the pitch on the way. Foul back towards the screen. No play. It is not a large crowd by any means at Connie Mack Stadium. It is a loud crowd. The Mets again tonight have a lot of fans down from New York. All remaining games for the Phillies this year will be played here in Connie Mack Stadium. Now the tall left-hander checks the runner. Here's the pitch to Tommy Agee. Low and inside, 1 ball and 1 strike. After the game tonight, the Mets have 3 in Pittsburgh and 4 back at Shea against Chicago, including the added game on Monday night, the 28th. Mets will play the Cubs Monday night, Tuesday night, Wednesday afternoon, and Thursday night. The Thursday night, October 1st game is Fan Appreciation Day, and that game starts at 7:05 p.m. The 1-1 delivery, hit hard, a base hit to center field by Tommy Agee. Grody around third is coming home with the tying run. Tommy Agee is 74th run batted in. It ties the game up. And for Tommy Agee, his 174th base hit. And that ties the club record that had been held by Tommy Davis. 174 hits in one season. Agee hit the ball very hard his first time up. Now this time he langs the ball hard into center field. A clean base hit bringing home Jerry Grody. The game is tied 1-1. Top of the third inning. Bud Harrelson the batter. Bud lined out to deep left his first time up. And it's over. Strike 1 call to the letter. Grody led off with a line double down the right field line. Short then struck out Al Weiss and Ray Sadecki, but Tommy Agee delivering a 2-out single up the middle ties the game up. At a throw to first, it is not in time. Phillies keeping an eye on Tommy Agee. Tommy has stolen 30 bases. Now Chris Short throws to first base. Did you notice that Tommy Harper joined a very select group? When he homered yesterday, his 30th of the year, he also has stolen 30 bases. There goes the runner, and a high fly ball hit to right center. Byron Brown moves over, he's under it, and he has it for the out. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, 1 left. In the middle of the third inning, the New York Mets won, and the Philadelphia Phillies won. You know, nobody's ever matched Ty Cobb's record for stolen bases. During his career, he managed to run up a total of 892. Well, stealing bases certainly is a tricky art. Your timing has to be just right, or you'll be caught short in the middle. Timing is just as important when brewing a great beer. But that's why Rheingold's is the slow way, long enough to let the beer carbonate itself naturally. And Rheingold's made with the finest natural ingredients. North Dakota barley, great American corn, imported and domestic hops, and pure brewer's water. So you get all that refreshing, extra dry taste every time. Pour yourself a Rheingold right now. Natural Rheingold. And Rheingold Breweries Incorporated, New York, New York, and Orange, New Jersey, ask you to help keep America beautiful. Taylor faces Ray Sadecki, bottom half of the third inning. Taylor, more than any other Philly, has dealt damaging blows to the Mets during the course of the year. With the bases loaded last night in the last of the eighth inning, he triple driving 3 runs in. He runs up as if to bunt, takes the pitch as a strike at the inside corner. And Tony Taylor did not like the call by Dick Stello, and Stello was get back in the batter's box. It was a lively evening around here last night. 3 of the Phillies were ejected during the course of the ball game, including the manager, Frank O'Casey. And it's over. Strike 2 call to Tony Taylor. The Pirates did not score against Carl Morton in the last of the first. At the end of 1, Montreal won, Pittsburgh nothing. And a ground ball hit slowly, moving to his left, Joe Foy, and he throws across in time for the out. 1 out and nobody on. We pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is WOKO in Albany, New York. Our temperature now, 74 degrees. Cohoes Savings Bank time is 28 minutes past 8. Time to open a big dividend savings account at Cohoes Savings Bank with offices in Latham and Cohoes.
It was Ralph Kainer and Lindsey Nelson. Last of the third inning, the game tied 1-1. For the Phillies, their number 3 hitter, Don Money, faces Ray Sadecki. He bounced out to third, his only time up. And a drive hit in the air to right center field, it'll be a base hit. Just beyond the reach of Al Weiss, who legged it into the outfield trying to get a play. For the Phillies, their third hit off Ray Sadecki. And Darren Johnson comes up. Darren hitting .254, has 27 home runs, 87 runs batted in. He reached on a walk his first time up. Now the Mets have the infield looking for 2 and a stride around the left. Fastball outside, ball 1. Let's play the outfield deep against Darren, who has a lot of power, and they play him a stride or 2 toward left. Glenn holding against base runner Don Money. Serve inside and low, 2 balls and no strikes. Not a breath of air in the ballpark. Certainly not enough breeze to have any effect on the game at all. The 2-0 delivery, swing and a miss by Darren Johnson. 2 balls and 1 strike. New York 1 run on 2 hits, 1 error. Philadelphia 1 run, 3 hits, no error. The Cardinals lead the Cubs 2-1 in the 5th inning. Swing and a miss, 2-2. St. Louis has been at bat quite a while in the last of the 5th inning. Sometimes you're a fool, sometimes the transmission is just slow and coming through. Now the 2-2 delivery, high and away, ball 3. Game time temperature tonight was 84 degrees. Now Money leads off first. Let's keep an eye on him. And Sadecki lobs the ball over to Clendenin. Let's see if Frank Lucchesi has the play on. 1 man away, Money on third, 3-2 on Darren Johnson. And a throw to first, not in time. Sadecki in the set position. There goes the runner. Here's the pitch, lined hard, a base hit to left center field. Around second is Money on his way to third. Easy firing the ball back in. The Phillies have runners on first and third. And pitching coach Rube Walker goes to grab the telephone. Darren Johnson on 3-2 with Money on the go. Ripped the ball hard into left center for a base hit. Brings up Joe List, the rookie left fielder. Nolan Ryan gets up again in the bullpen. List, a right-hand batter. Coming off of a good year in the Coast League. The infield now hoping for a chance to make two, and Sadecki is in trouble here in the bottom half of the third inning. Money on third, Johnson on first with one man out. Game tied 1-1. Fastball, strike one. Tim McCarver, the on-deck hitter. Phillies now have 4 hits off Ray Sadecki. Sadecki checks the runners, now the pitch. Foul back toward the screen, and Ray gets out in front with a 2-strike count. Tony Taylor, the leadoff batter, was retired. But Money singled to right center, and on 3-2 with Money running, Darren Johnson hammered a hard single into left center. Phillies with runners on first and third. Sadecki getting his sign from Jerry Gertie. And the pitch on the way. Just missed the outside corner. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Last time Sadecki faced the Phillies, he beat them with a brilliant effort, and he struck out 12 along the way. Pitching 1-2. High, outside, 2-2. Gertie walks slowly out in front of the plate. Nolan Ryan picked up the win in relief in the game last night, and Ryan is back to work in the Mets bullpen. Nolan faced only 2 batters last night. The 2-2 delivery, outside, ball 3. Well, Sadecki had a 2-strike count, and now the count is all the way out at 3-2. Now we'll keep an eye on Darren Johnson, the runner on first, and see if he goes. Al Weiss and Buddy Harrelson looking for 2. Here's the pitch. The runner goes, swing and a miss, and now hung up. It's Don Money. Foy runs him toward home plate, and Foy tags him out. Double play, side retire. Sadecki made the big play. On 3-2 with Johnson running. Sadecki struck out Joe List. What a big one. Brody bluffed the throw to second. That lured Money into the trap. Money was caught between third and home and tagged out by Joe Foy. A big double play for the New York Mets. No runs, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left on.
The all-new 1970 New York Mets yearbook is now on sale. And once you see this year's official yearbook, you'll agree this is the biggest, the best, the most colorful ever. 64 pages, more than 250 photographs, including 28 pages of photos in color. Pick up your copy the next time you're at Shea, or if you like, order your copy today by mail. Send $1 in cash, check, or money order to Mets Yearbook, Shea Stadium, Flushing, New York, zip 11368. When you receive your copy, you'll find the centerfold is a handsome 2-page picture in full color of the world champion New York Mets, suitable for framing. You'll also find career records of every Mets player, a section devoted to the All-Star Game, and a 4-page World Series section. All this and more is yours in baseball's #1 buy, the all-new 1970 New York Mets Yearbook. To order your copy by mail, simply send $1, cash, check, or money order to Mets Yearbook, Shea Stadium, Flushing, New York, 11368. And be sure to include your name and address.
This is WOKO, the home of the Mets for the Capital District.
Leon Jones leading off against Chris Short. It's the 4th inning, and the pitch was taken ball 1. Montreal 1, Pittsburgh nothing at the end of an inning and a half. The Cardinals 2 and the Cubs 1, bottom half of the seventh. Swing and a miss by Cleon Jones. 1 ball, 1 strike. Cleon flied to right his first time up. Batting 284. 1-1 delivery by short, way outside. It's 2 balls and a strike. Ray Sadecki made a big play when he struck out Joe Liss on 3-2. Brody bluffed the throw through to second base and lured Money into a trap between third and home. Pitching 2-1. A swing and a miss by Cleon. It's 2 balls and 2 strikes. Phillies scored in the first inning as the result of a base hit and an error. That tied the game in the third inning on Brody's double and a 2-out single by Tommy Agee. Pitching 2-2. Got a ground ball that is hit down to third. Fair ball grabbed behind third by Money. The long throw in time. Good arm by Don Money. He fielded that grounder deep behind third, almost across the line. 1 out and nobody on. Now Clendenin coming up. Clendenin had another important hit last night when he singled with the bases loaded, driving 2 runs in, raising his bulging RBI total to 90 for the year. That's only 4 shy of the Mets club record since that first year of expansion in the old Polo Grounds by Frank Thomas. The time is running out for Clendenin to tie or better the record. Here's the pitch on the way. Fastball in, a call strike. Interesting thing for Clendenin. He has 90 RBIs in 113 ball games. His ratio certainly has been impressive. And the pitch thrown to Don Clendenin. A fastball over, strike 2 call. 2 veteran left-handers hooked up tonight here at Johnny Mack Stadium. Over the years, Chris Short has been very tough on the Mets. His lifetime mark against the Mets is 11 wins and 5 losses. 2-strike delivery. Well hit fly ball to center field. Waiting under it is the center gardener, Larry Heisel, and he has it. Clendenin made good contact, but he hit it straight away. Earlier this year in this ballpark, Clendenin became the second man in the history of the ballpark to hit one over the outside center field wall. The only other performer to do it was Ricky Allen. 2 outs and nobody on, top of the 4th inning. The game even 1-1, and the batter Ron Swoboda. High and away, ball 1. What a duel they have going out in St. Louis with the 2:20 game winners hooked up. Ferguson Jenkins against Bob Gibson. Cardinals leading 2-1 in the 7th. He holds up on the swing just in time. It breaks low inside. 2 balls and no strikes. Brown was struck out his first time at bat. Chris Short has good control. Let's not walk the batter. At a ground ball hit toward the hole. Money comes up with it going off to his left and throws hard to Darren Johnson. The Mets get down 1-2-3. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. In the middle of the 4th inning at Johnny Mack Stadium, the New York Mets won, the Philadelphia Phillies won.
Weinberg Tires has the Michelin X Radial tire, the world's first radial, featuring a safety belt of steel wrapped around each tire right under the tread. Virtually eliminates punctures and blowouts. Plus, you get solid driving control, steady braking power, and great gas mileage. At Weinberg Tires, you can get complete brake and front-end kit. 2 expert mechanics always on hand. So visit Weinberg Tires today and take good care of your car. Weinberg Tires, 935 Central Avenue, Albany, the Capital District's oldest and largest Michelin dealer. If you've just moved into a smaller house or apartment, or if you're planning a remodeling job, what's your biggest problem? Well, it can be storage. Vogel Van & Storage has the best warehouse facilities in the area, plus the most modern packing methods and materials. Vogel has years of experience in the moving and storage business. You can be sure of expert, careful service if you'll call Vogel Van and Storage at 436-4881. That's 436-4881. Call today.
WOKO, the sound of America, Albany, New York.
Last of the fourth inning in Philadelphia, the Mets won and the Phillies won. The Phillies will have Tim McCarver leading off against Ray Sadecki. It will be Tim McCarver, Byron Brown, and Larry Heisel, 6, 7, and 8 in the batting order. McCarver is 0 for 1. He bounced out to Joe Foy on the opening inning. Due to a broken hand, McCarver has played only 37 games this year. He's sitting at 243. Left-hander against left-hander. The pitch by Sadecki. Foul ball back into our broadcasting booth and out of play. Strike one. Sadecki had to work very hard in pitching out of trouble in the last inning. It's a hot night, and Ray has thrown quite a few pitches. Ground ball hit hard through the middle. A base hit by McCarver. Ronnie Yancey up with it, whips it back in. 5 hits now for the Phillies, and they have their leadoff batter on. Which means that once again, Ray Sadecki is under the gun and will have to be reaching back for the extra. Well, they're going to the 9th inning in St. Louis with Bob Gibson and the Cardinals beating the Chicago Cubs and Ferguson Jenkins by a score of 2-1. The hitter is Byron Brown, the right fielder, and the breaking ball is over to strike one. Nolan Ryan is up for the third time in the Mets bullpen. Brown, right-hand batter, fouls it back upstairs to counter strike two. Byron Brown hitting at 249. You have to be careful with him. He does have power. Larry Heisel is the on-deck batter. Sadecki takes his runner, now the pitch. Strike 3 called. He got him. Sadecki's third strikeout, and he gets Byron Brown on 3 pitches. With one away, the center fielder, Larry Heisel, will be stepping in. And Heisel hit a hard, long double to right center his first time up. Heisel strikes out a lot, but when he makes contact, he is strong. Pitch by Sadecki, swing and a miss, strike one. That's one, the Phillies won, last of the 4th inning. Long drive, deep to left center, way back, and gone, a home run. A 2-run homer by Larry Heisel. And he hit it over the 410-foot mark. So Heisel has been up twice, doubled, and hit a home run. And the Phillies are in front 3-1. For Heisel, his 10th home run of the year. A line shot that exploded off the bat. It almost straight away at the center, just a little bit toward left center, where it cleared the wall at the 410 mark. Heisel has been hurting the Mets in this series. So Chris Short steps in. He now has a 2-run lead. The pitch by Sadecki. Ground ball that is going foul down the third baseline. Heisel's home run is 10th. Last year as a rookie, sidelined about half of the year, he had 20 home runs. Next pitch by Ray Sadecki, and a shot to short. A one-hopper handled by Bud Harrelson. Now he straightens up, throws to Clendenon, and short is out. Low line drive, and it was wicked. Hit directly toward Buddy Harrelson. And he caught the hop right up in front of his face. 2 outs and nobody on. Top of the batting order for the shortstop, Larry Boa. Boa, a switch hitter, has gone 0 for 2. Fouled out to the catcher, bounced out to short. He's riding an 18-game hitting streak. Phillies 3 and the Mets 1 on a 2-run homer by Larry Heisel. Got a ground ball hit down to Joe Foy at third. He's up with it. Throws to Clendenin. Phillies retire. But they regain the lead, scoring 2 runs on 2 hits, no errors, and none left on. At the end of 4, it's the Phillies 3 and the New York Mets 1.
To really appreciate our cigar, you have to smoke their cigar. Go ahead. Light up any other 2 for a quarter cigar in America. Then light up a 2 for a quarter White Owl New Yorker. Take a puff on their cigar. That's pretty good. Then take a puff on our White Owl New Yorker and see what you think. Do it a few more times. A puff on theirs, a puff on ours, a puff on theirs, and a puff on ours. If you think this is a good way to make a point, you're right. But don't take my word for it. Try it yourself. All you need is a White Owl New Yorker and any other 2 for a quarter cigar in America. To really appreciate our cigar, you have to smoke their cigar. The White Owl New Yorker, our cigar.
The 5th inning here in Philadelphia. Phillies lead by a score of 3-1 on Heisel's 2-run homer. Joe Foy facing Chris Short. Foy was struck out his first time up. Joe hitting .240 with 6 home runs. Swing and a miss and a high hiker. Joe Hodges has Nolan Ryan continue to work in the bullpen, indicating he would put up a pinch hitter if the Mets can get somebody on. 6, 7, and 8 in the batting order due to hit. Now it's high, and Foy lays off 1 ball, 1 strike. The Mets scored a run in the 3rd on a double by Grody and a 2-out single by Tommy Agee. Phillies scored an unearned run in the 1st and then added 2 in the 4th inning on Heisel's home run. Swing and a miss at a breaking ball, 1-2. Jerry Grody on deck and then Al White. The Pirates got a run to tie up the Montreal Expos. They are tied 1-1 in the 2nd. Swing and a miss, he struck him out on a fastball up in his eye. Foy goes down swinging for the 2nd time. 5 strikeouts for Chris Short, and the veteran left-hander appears to be throwing very hard. Now the hitter is Jerry Grody. Jerry has one of the 2 hits off Chris Short and has scored the Mets run. It's all over in St. Louis. The Cardinals defeated the Cubs in the first game of the doubleheader, 2-1. Bob Gibson beating Ferguson Jenkins. Outside, ball 1. The amazing Bob Gibson has now won 20-1 of his last 24 decisions. Gibson, in winning his 23rd game of the year, allowed the Cubs only 2 base hits. Fastball to Grody, a strike, 1 ball and 1 strike. Here's the line score. It was St. Louis 2 runs, 7 hits, and no errors. The Cubs 1 run, only 2 hits and 4 errors. Both pitchers went the route, Ferguson Jenkins and Bob Gibson. Gibson is now 23-6. At a drive in the air to right center, cutting over Byron Brown, he has it. Losing pitcher Ferguson Jenkins has won 20, lost 16. The Expos and the Pirates are in the top of the 3rd inning, and they are tied 1-1. Carl Morton pitching against veteran left-hander George Burnett. Kenny Singleton has come out on deck. Swing and a miss by Al White, strike 1. Ray Sadecki is scheduled to bat next. Singleton is in the on-deck circle. 2 outs and nobody on. At a curve, drops in at the knees for a call strike to Al White. And Chris Short looks like he's going to be hard to handle. He has not walked a man, struck out 5, allowed just 2 hits. And And the pitch on the way. Just got a piece of it. A foul ball. 2 strikes down to Al White. The Mets trail 3-1, top of the 5th inning. And the pitch on the way by Chris Short. A fastball over, strike 3 call. Al White is caught looking for the second time. The 6th strikeout for Chris Short. No runs, no hits, no errors, and none left. So we've traveled halfway in the middle of the 5th inning. The Philadelphia Phillies 3 and the New York Mets 1.
A buck, a bone, a clam. Friends, that's your dollar bill. You're thin or thin. If it's $5, your sawbuck is 10. A double saw, that's your $20 bill. Eddie Edwards here with a financial glossary of the air. Just a few of the inside expressions and jargon you might hear me use on the radio. And you know, listeners often recognize me on the street, and by golly, I'm telling you, they're wonderful folks. They'll come directly to me and they'll say, Eddie, you're an investment man, a financial fella. Tell me, where can I invest my money and get a guaranteed yield on it? They'll ask me that, and in return, I tell them about the bank book. Yes, from the bank. The bank book pays you a guaranteed 5% per annum. That means per year on your savings. The bank only requires an initial deposit of at least $500. Only $500. Additional deposit of at least $100 and 90 days written notice if you want to make a withdrawal. That's your bank book story. It has a golden cover. You know it's top quality class.
The bank, National Commercial Bank and Trust Company, is a member of the Federal Deposit Insurance Corporation.
Nolan Ryan comes in the ball game to take over the pitching last of the 5th inning. Ryan's last 2 outings in relief. He has saved the game for Denny Priscilla. He was the winning pitcher last night as the Mets rallied to the 9th inning to win it. Last night, Nolan faced only 2 batters, retired both. Won his 7th game of the year against 10 losses. For Nolan Ryan, this will be his 4th straight relief outing. He went to the bullpen on September the 13th. Tony Taylor, Don Money, and Darren Johnson, 2, 3, and 4 in the Phillies batting order to hit against Ryan in the last half of the 5th inning. Ray Sadecki did not have his good stuff going for him in the bank. Ray worked 4 innings, allowed 3 runs, 6 hits. Walked 2 and struck out 3. Ray was a little bit wild in the strike zone. Tony Taylor has singled to right center. And he raced around to third when the ball got by Tommy Agee for an error. And then he came in on the ground out. Ryan's delivery is outside, ball 1. Every game, virtually a must game for the New York Mets. And a fastball inside of the letters. 2 balls and no strikes to Tony Taylor. Tony Taylor hitting .293. And a line drive down the right field line. A base hit rolling deep down into the corner. Being pursued by Ron Swoboda. And Tony Taylor eases into second with a double. Taylor hitting late against Ryan's fastball. Hit it right over Clendenner's head and fair by about a foot. It was hit hard and went flying down into the corner. By the way, if you're thinking of starting up a savings or a checking account, drop into any convenient Chase Manhattan branch. Remember, you've got a friend at Chase Manhattan, member of the FDIC. Don Money, the third baseman, has 1 for 2, singled his last time up. Swing and a miss, strike 1. Money is hitting .302. After Money got his base hit, Johnson followed with a base hit, putting runners on first and third. Didn't seem a big play in the ballgame. Sadecki struck out Joe List on 3 and 2, and they caught Money. Wild pitch goes all the way to the backstop. And moving over to third, Tony Taylor. Ryan on his serve uncorks a wild pitch, and the count is 1-1. The runner goes to third. And Gil Hodges gets Ron Herbal up in the bullpen. Now the Mets have to bring the infield in, which always gives the advantage to the hitter. Nolan Ryan into his windup. Here's the pitch on the way. High fly ball hit the deep right field. It will score a run. Taylor is tagged up. Swoboda makes the catch. Here comes the throw by Ron Swoboda. He threw it completely over the head of Jerry Griffin. He knew he had to make a very impossible throw because he was out there pretty deep. So Ron, in time to get even more than he possessed onto the throw, threw it completely over Grody's head. It was a desperation try because Ron knew he was that far out of the outfield. Phillies lead by 3. They're in front 4-1. Sacrifice fly and a run batted in for Don Money. A hard ground ball hit by Darren Johnson through the hole in the right field for a base hit. And Darren Johnson hits Ryan's first pitch into right for a clean single. And Nolan Ryan runs into trouble as he takes over the pitching in the last of the fifth inning. Ron Herbel throwing hard in the bullpen, and here comes Gil Hodges. Gil Hodges on his way to the mound. Ryan has faced 3 men. All 3 have hit the ball hard. Taylor doubled on the right field line. Money hit a fly ball to rather deep right field, getting the run home. And Darren Johnson has singled to right, and Gil Hodges takes the ball. So Ron Herbel comes in the ballgame. He will be the third pitcher called on by the New York Mets. The Phillies in front by a score of 4-1, bottom half of the fifth inning. And while we're waiting on Ron Herbel to come in, let's check with Ralph Kiner and get updated on the other Major League action.
All right, Bob Murphy, but first let's pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is WOKO in Albany, New York. Our temperature 74 degrees. Cohoes Savings Bank time 2 till 9. Time to take advantage of student loans at Cohoes Savings Bank.
Ralph Kiner along with Bob Murphy and Lindsey Nelson from Johnny Mac Stadium in Philadelphia. That's trailing by a score of 4-1 as the Phillies bat in the bottom of the fifth inning. The St. Louis Cardinals beat the Chicago Cubs in the first game of their twilight doubleheader 2-1 as Bob Gibson pitched a 2-hitter. It was his 23rd win. He's lost 6. The losing pitcher was Ferguson Jenkins. His record 20-16. Cubs made 4 errors in that ball game as the St. Louis Cardinals scored 2 runs in the second and made them hold up as the Cubs got 1 run in the fourth. At the end of 3, San Diego nothing, Atlanta nothing. At the end of 2, it's Cincinnati 4, Houston nothing. San Francisco scheduled against Los Angeles. And at Pittsburgh at the end of 2.5 innings, Montreal 1, the Pittsburgh Pirates 1. Carl Morton 16-11 going for the Expos. George Burnett 0-0 going for the Pirates. In the American League at the end of 3, the Yankees 3, Washington 1. Coleman and Rob Gardner working that ball game. Dick Billings got a home run in the third with no one on for Washington, his first of the year. Cleveland beat Boston 5-2. Winning pitcher was Hargan. Harrelson, Fuller, and LeHou had home runs. White Sox beat Kansas City 6-0 as the winning pitcher was Bart Johnson, a 5-hitter. California scheduled against Milwaukee, Detroit, Baltimore postponed because of the power shortage, and Minnesota against Oakland.
All right, Ralph. Joe List, the left fielder, a right-hand batter, is up against Ron Herbel. Herbel throws over to first, keeping an eye on Darren Johnson. Herbel leads the National League in appearances. And a foul ball hit back upstairs, no play. For Ron Herbel, who has won 9 and lost 6 this year, this marks his 73rd ball game. Ron Herbel. And a throw to first by Herbel. Now Gary Gentry is getting up in the bullpen. The pitch by Herbel, breaking ball in for a call strike. Phillies leading 4-1, last of the fifth inning. They have Darren Johnson on first base with 1 man out. The batter is Joe List, the left fielder. He's a right-hand hitter. And he holds up on his swing, and it just missed inside. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Ron Herbel off the stretch. Foul ball back to the screen, no play. The Expos and the Pirates are tied 1-1 with the Bucks sitting in the third. Bob Gibson won his 23rd. Gibson got off to a slow start this year. He was 2-3 on the 18th of May. Now he's 23 in the fifth. Pitching 1-2. Under the knees, the count is even on Joe List, and Herbal thought he had him struck out. The Pirates are out in the last of the third inning. It's 1-1 at the end of 3. Swing and a miss, he struck him out. Ron Herbal strikes out Joe List. One man away, the batter coming up, Tim McCarver. McCarver singled to center field in the fourth inning and later scored a run. The veteran backstop has 1 for 2. Phillies got 2 in the fourth inning on the 2-run homer by Larry Heisel. And they have added a run off Nolan Ryan here in the fifth. And a high pop-up off McCarver's bat. Coy comes down the line and foul ground. Near the fungo circle, he makes the catch, and the side is out. So Herbal comes in to get the Phillies out. 1 run, 2 hits, no errors, and 1 left. At the end of 5 in Philadelphia, it's the Phillies 4 and the New York Mets 1.
Weinberg Tires has the Michelin X Radio tire, the world's first radio featuring a safety belt of steel wrapped around each tire right under the tread. Virtually eliminates punctures and blowouts. Plus, you get solid driving control, steady braking power, and great gas mileage. At Weinberg Tires, you can get complete brake and front end care. 2 expert mechanics always on hand. So visit Weinberg Tires today and take good care of your car. Weinberg Tires, 935 Central Avenue, Albany, the Capital District's oldest and largest Michelin dealer. Want to save a lot of money on beer and soda? Want to shop quickly while doing it? The big 3 discount beverage centers sell nothing but beverages. Sell them in volume. You get the savings by 6-pack or case. Fast service direct to your car. No checkout line. Save yourself time and money at the big 3. Albany Beverage Discount Center at the Sign of the Giant. Wolf Road in Colony. Marty's Discount Beverage, 218 4th Street in Troy. Glenville Beverage, 53 Freeman Bridge Road, Schenectady. The big 3. Open 7 days a week.
It's the 6th inning here in Philadelphia. The Mets are putting up a pinch hitter. And to tell you all about it and follow the action for you, here is Ralph Kane.
All right, Bob Murphy, the Mets trailing by 3 with 4 innings to go. And a pinch hitter for the pitcher, Ron Herbal, it's Ken Singleton. Out in the bullpen, Gary Gentry, who'll be the next man for the Mets. Chris Short, who has given up 1 run, allowed 2 hits, while striking out 6 set to go. And the left-hander's first pitch to Singleton. High, a fastball, missing ball 1. Singleton batting right-handed. Batting .258 for the year with 5 home runs and 26 runs batted in. Short has not walked the batter, and the left-hander back, and the pitch is line over first, a base hit. Singleton goes to first base and holds there as the right fielder Byron Brown fields the ball, and the Mets have 1 on with no one out, and the batter coming up is Tommy Agee. Tommy has accounted for the Mets' run when he singled to center field to drive in Jerry Grody back in the third after Grody had doubled. The base hit by Agee came with 2 men out. His first time up, he was robbed of an extra base hit by Larry Heisel in deep center field. Agee hitting .281. He has 74 RBIs, 24 home runs. Now Short from the set position. And the first pitch to Agee. Agee tries to bunt it, bunts it foul out of play. Strike 1. Tommy trying to get on, trying to catch Money back deep at third. So a 1-strike count. Cubs are losing their ball game, now 1/2 game ahead of the Mets. Have a record of 80 wins and 73 losses. The Mets have won 80 and lost 74. They are now 2.5 games back of the Pittsburgh Pirates. And they have 1 more to play tonight. 1-strike count. Short again in the set position and the pitch. Agee swings and fouls the ball over toward the Met dugout. Going over is Darren Johnson. The ball drifting out of play into the stands, just out of his reach. So Agee with a 2-strike count. After this ball game, the Mets have 7 to play. 3 with the Pittsburgh Pirates and 4 with the Chicago Cubs. This is game number 165. Should say 155. 2-strike count, and a lot of Mets fans here in this ballpark. Singleton is not being held on at first base. Johnson playing about 3 steps behind him, and the pitch is outside, ball 1. Chris Short spotting the fastball outside to count 1 ball and 2 strikes. Short this year making his 33rd start. He has won 9 and lost 15. Against the Mets, he has won 2 and lost 1 this year. Lifetime, he has defeated the Mets by 11 times, while the Mets have got to him 5. Short, veteran left-hander, the 1-2 pitch. It is lined to center, a base hit. Might go for extra bases. It goes on through. Singleton on his way to third. He is being held up at third, and Agee goes in with the double. So a line shot high. The center fielder just a shade toward right center. That ball hit so hard that Heisel had no chance to get to it. And the Mets now have the tying run coming to the plate, and the batter is Bud Harrelson. 0 out. We're in the top of the 6th inning, and the conference at the mound. Frank Lucchesi, the manager of the Philadelphia Phillies, is out to talk to his pitcher. Bill Wilson is now getting out to throw in the bullpen, and I believe Grant Jackson is going to join him. It is Grant Jackson, the left-hander, along with Bill Wilson, the right-hander. Mets trying to get back in this ball game. Agee doing his best. Yesterday, 2 for 5 with 2 big runs batted in to win the ball game. Here tonight, he's 2 for 3. Harrelson out deep to left his first time up, and he fired out to right his next time up. 0 for 2. And Short into the windup. Here's the pitch. It's way inside. A ball. Ball knocked down by McCarver. Phillies with their infield back at short and second, in at first and third. They lead 4-1. On deck batter for the Mets, Cleon Jones. Now Short nods yes, goes into the windup, and the 1-0 pitch. It is over for a called strike. Pitch over the inside corner, a fastball, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Bud is 0 for 3 in this series. Last night he had 3 walks. He has set a new Met record for walks in the season. Has a total of 90. 1-1 pitch grounded foul, and the count goes up to 1-2. Chris Short turns his back to the plate, looks out toward center field, checks his spikes. Now does a little grounds work in front of the pitching rubber, and then looks in for the sign. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Now he steps back off the rubber, and Bud Harrelson steps out of the batter's box. Time call. Now Harrelson back in, and Short ready to go. Here's the windup and pitch. It is inside. Bud takes a close pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. Short has had 7 complete games this year with his 9 wins. Again, he takes the signs, goes into the windup. Here's the pitch. It is taken inside and low, and the count full now. 3-2 to Bud Harrelson. Bud represents the potential tying run in this ball game. No one out. Top of the 6th inning. Cleon Jones on deck. Runners not too far off. Here's the pitch. It is hit hard down in the hole, in through to left field. Singleton scores from third. Agee had held up to see whether or not the ball would be caught by the shortstop, Larry Bohr. He goes to third. So the Mets get a run. A run batted in for Bud Harrelson, his 42nd. The tying run is at first. No one out. And with runners at first and third, Cleon Jones comes up. 2 Leon is 0 for 2 in the ball game. Jones has flied out to right field, grounded out to third. He is 0 for 5 in this series. His average dropping down to 283. And time call as Chris Short goes out to pick up some paper out in front of the mound. Short ready to go. The first pitch to Jones. Taken high and away, a fastball missing ball one. One ball, no strikes. Jones being played straight away by the outfield. More or less grouped the shade toward the alley, both in left and right. Now the pitch. High and outside again. 2 balls, no strikes. Bill Wilson, the right-hander, throwing in the bullpen for the Phillies, along with left-hander Grant Jackson. The on-deck batter for the Mets, Don Clendenin. Agee at third, Harrelson at first, and the 2-0 pitch. It is swung on and hit foul in the air, out of play on the first base side. So the count, 2 balls, 1 strike. Ron Stone, an outfielder, going down to the bullpen to probably warm up. He has a great arm. Montreal got a run in the top of the second, 4th. They now lead 2-1 after 3.5 innings. Montreal 2, Pittsburgh 1. The pitch to Jones. Breaking ball high, ball 3. So Jones will count his way, 3 balls, 1 strike. With a short lead at first base. Short with the pitch. Harrelson holds the pitch inside, ball 4, and that loads up the bases. That puts the tying run at second with no one out, and it brings up the Mets RBI man, Don Clendenin. And now Frank Lucchese is going out to the mound, and we will have a pitching change. Possible chance that an outfielder will go in the ball game, as the pitcher for the Philadelphia Phillies will be due up in the bottom of the 6th inning, and that way they can put the batting order in position for the pitcher not to be involved in hitting in the bottom of the 6th. Now coming in is Bill Wilson. Bill Wilson, who pitched in last night's ball game. Wilson last night worked 2 1/3 innings, gave up no runs, allowed 1 hit, struck out 2, and walked 1. So they are making an outfield change. Coming out of the ball game, Joe List, the left fielder, and Stone is going in. Ron Stone to play left field. And they will switch batting positions with Stone batting in the pitcher's position, the 9th position in the batting order. And going out, of course, the pitcher will bat in Joe List's spot, which was number 5. And as the pitchers make this change, let's check out the action in the National and the American League with Bob Murphy.
In the 4th inning at Three Rivers Stadium in Pittsburgh, Montreal 2, Pittsburgh 1. Carl Morton, 16-11, the Montreal pitcher. Veteran southpaw George Brunette making his first start for the Pirates. As Bob Gibson hurled a 2-hitter, the Cardinals defeated the Cubs 2-1 in the first game of the doubleheader, making up last night's rained-out game. The Cardinals scored both of their runs in the second on back-to-back singles by Luis Melendez and Ted Simmons. Melendez scored on an error by Ron Santos, and Simmons scored on a single by Julian Javier. The only hits given up by Gibson were a triple by Beckert and a single by Pepitone. Gibson won his 23rd. He now has won 21 of his last 24. Ferguson Jenkins the loser. In the second game, it'll be Bill Hand, 17-13, against Jerry Royce, the rookie left-hander, 6-8. San Diego won, Atlanta nothing at the end of 4. Cincinnati 4, Houston nothing in the 3rd inning. Later tonight, the Giants and Dodgers in Los Angeles. Yankees 3, Washington 1 at the end of 4. Coleman against Rob Gardner. Cleveland beat Boston 5-2, stopping the Red Sox winning streak. Hargett the winner, Brett the loser. Nelson hit a home run, as did Vern Fuller and Joe LaHoo of the Red Sox. The White Sox blanked the Royals 6-0. And the other games are just getting underway, and the Tiger-Baltimore game was postponed because of the power shortage. Now we're set for the action here. A big moment for the Mets. And all set to follow it for you, Ralph Kainer.
All right, Bob Murphy, the base is loaded. Don Clendenin, the batter, no one out, top of the sixth. The Mets need 2 to tie. Clendenin has grounded out and flied out. Right-hand batter, he leads the club in runs batted in with 90. Batting at .290, and the first pitch by Bill Wilson is inside a ball. Wilson with a record of 1 win and no losses, making his 5th appearance against the Mets. He was in last night's ball game, worked 2 1/3 innings, gave up 1 hit and no runs. He has a record of 1-0. There's a hard smash to short. It'll be a double play. To go over to Taylor covering at second base, and the throw to first base, a double play. On the play, the Mets get a run as A.G. scores from third base. That was a one-hop drive right at Larry Bohr, the shortstop. He took it, and from there on, it was a routine play. They had all the time in the world to make the double play, and the Phillies pick up 2 quick outs. So Wilson on 1 pitch, picking up 2 outs, and now coming up for the Mets is Ron Swoboda. They trail by 1. Well, Ron represents the tying run. He is not going to bat. He has been called back, and we're going to have Dave Marshall bat for Ron Swoboda. That ball was hit right on the nose, but right at Larry Bohr, the shortstop. No run batted in on the double play. Dave Marshall coming up. Dave hitting .257, has 6 home runs, 29 runs batted in. That run will be charged to Chris Short, but at this point, he can win the ball game. He worked 5 innings, and the Phillies lead 4-3 with no one on. Pardon me, on the play, Harrelson went to third, so he cannot win the ball game if Harrelson scores. Dave Marshall, left-hand batter, stepping in the batter's box. Bill Wilson, checking the signs. He's working from the set position, not taking any chances on Harrelson the third. The first pitch in there for a called strike. One strike count. Marshall has had 2 pinch hit home runs this year. Now Wilson back, and the pitch is high for a ball. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. One ball, 1 strike. Wilson sets. Here's the pitch. It's way outside, ball 2. 2-1. Now the signs go out. Marshall checks. Goes in the set position. Checks Harrelson at third, and the 2-1 delivery. It is swung on and fouled back out of play. The count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes. The tying run is at third base. 2 men out, top of the 6th inning. The attendance here tonight, 5,683. And at 2-2, the pitch to Marshall. It is over, a call, strike 3, and Wilson does quite a job in relief. He gets Don Clendenin to hit into a double play with the bases loaded and strikes out Dave Marshall. In the inning, the Mets score 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors, 1 man left on, and the score in the middle of the 6th inning, the Phillies 4, the Mets 3.
Now you can paint your house and get a thoroughly professional job that's guaranteed for 5 years. Golden Premium one-coat house paint by the makers of famous Murphy paints at Racklin Wallpaper and Paint, 1721 State Street, Schenectady. Murphy Golden Premium gives a brilliant finish. 2-coat coverage with just 1 coat and super gloss retention. Solve your exterior problems for 5 years with Murphy paint from Racklin Wallpaper and Paint, 1721 State Street, Schenectady.
Hi, everyone. everyone. I'm Charles Douglas Pitts, and I'm a night people here on WOKO. If you're a night people, too, or an insomniac, or if you're just hanging around between midnight and 6 a.m., lock your radio dial on 1460 WOKO and join me for the good old sound of America and some friendly chatter. Remember, you're only a stranger once on WOKO's Charles Douglas Pitts Show.
74 degrees in the Capital District, WOKO.
We're going to the bottom of the sixth. The Phillies leading by a score of 4-3, and Gary Gentry is the new pitch in the ball game for the Mets. Ray Sadecki started when 4 innings, was charged with 3 runs. He gave up 6 hits, struck out 3, walked 2. Nolan Ryan was charged with 1 run, giving up 2 hits in 1/3 of an inning. Ron Herbel gave up no hits and no runs in 2/3 of an inning. Was taken out for a pinch hitter when the Mets rallied to get back in the ball game. And now Gary Gentry. Gary with a record of 9 wins and 9 losses. This is his 31st appearance. And with a right-hander coming in, Byron Brown scheduled up. The Phillies are going to a platoon system, and Oscar Gamble is going to take over for Brown in the outfield and pinch hit for him. The Mets have left Ken Singleton in the ball game. He singled to start up the rally. And, of course, he is a switch hitter, and that would give the advantage if they do change pitchers later on in the ball game. Singleton can bat either way. Oscar Gamble, a left-hand batter. In last night's ball game, Gamble had 2 hits in 4 trips to the plate, one of them a triple. Gamble hitting .263, has 1 home run, 18 runs batted in. And the first pitch by Gentry, low and away, ball 1. Phillies 4 runs, 8 hits, no errors. The Mets have 3 runs, 5 hits, and 1 error, and the 1 error cost them a run. And here's the swing and a miss in the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. Now the 1-1 delivery. It is hit out towards second, right at Ken Boswell. A soft line drive, and Al Weiss, and Al makes the catch. That'll bring up Larry Heisel. It was his 2-run home run that broke a 1-1 tie back in the 4th inning. Heisel is 2 for 2 in this ball game, a double and a home run. His average for the year, 204. He has 10 home runs, 22 doubles, 43 RBIs. He also has struck out 136 times this year, and there's a swing and a miss, strike 1. He has played in 119 ball games and has struck out 136 times. In last night's ball game, he had a triple and 3 times up. Next pitch is a ball, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Gentry in his 31st appearance. Now a swing and a miss, and it's strike 2. 1 ball, 2 strikes. This is Gentry's 3rd relief appearance. Phillies 4, Mets 3. 1 out, bottom of the 6th. The next pitch, a half swing, and it's called a ball. Heisel checked in time. The count 2 balls, 2 strikes. Now Gentry leans in, checks out Jody's sign, goes into the windup, and the 2-2 pitch. It is inside, ball 3, and Gentry 3-2 to Larry Heisel. Ron Stone is the on-deck batter, batting in the 9th position. At the end of 1, Chicago nothing, St. Louis nothing in the 2nd game. Bill Hands against Jerry Royce. First game, Cardinals won 2-1 as Gibson pitched the 2-hitter. Now a swing and a foul back, so the count remains 3-2. Mets' last game, if everything goes according to schedule, ever at Connie Mack Stadium. Ballpark York, built back in 1909. Now Gentry taking time before checking the sign. And again his 3-2 pitch. Swung on and missed, and Heisler struck out for the 137th time this year. At the end of 4, Montreal 2, Pittsburgh 1. Pittsburgh did not score in the bottom of the 4th inning. Carl Morton pitching for the Expos against George Brunette for the Pirates. Now with 2 men out, Ron Stone steps up for the first time. Stone hitting .267. He has 3 home runs, 38 runs batted in. He has played in 116 games. And the pitch by Gentry, a changeup. It's over, called strike. Phillies 4, the Mets 3. 2 men out, bottom of the 6th. Boy being moved back to a deeper third base position by the Mets bench. Now again a changeup. This one even slower than the first, and it is high and away. 1 ball, 1 strike. Phillies in 1-run ball games. They have won 28 and lost 23. Best in the league. Played 51 1-run ball games. Now at 1-1, the pitch is outside. A fastball missing. 2 balls, 1 strike. Two balls, 1 strike. Gentry back. Pitch is swung on and missed. The fastball, 2-2. Clendenon at first base. Weiss at second. Harrelson at short. Foy at third. 2-2 delivery. It is a curveball, a check in the swing, just low, and the count goes full to 3-2. Both pitch. But a ball. In the outfield, Cleon Jones in left, Tommy Agee in center, Ron Swoboda in right. Now the windup and 3-2 pitch. It is hit the deep right center. Extra bases. Going over is Agee playing the ball off of the wall, dropping it, picking it up, but Stone stays at second base as Agee's strong throw goes all the way to third. So a 3-2 pitch and a double by Ron Stone, and the Phillies have a runner at second with 2 men out, and Larry Boa coming up. And we pause for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is WOKO in Albany, New York. Our temperature 74 degrees. Cohoes Savings Bank time 28 past 9. Time to save at Cohoes Savings Bank, where interest is the highest in Latham and Cohoes.
Ralph Kiner along with Bob Murphy and Lindsey Nelson from Connie Mack Stadium. Phillies leading 4-3. They have a runner at second and Larry Boa coming up. Conference at the mound between Jerry Grody and Gary Gentry. Now, Grody back to give out the sign. Boa is 0 for 3 in this ball game. He brought an 18-game hitting streak into the game, and he's batting from the left-hand side of the plate for the first time. Boa hitting .251 for the year. 2 for 3 last night. And Gentry's pitch. It is low and outside a ball. Gentry with a record of 9 wins and 9 losses. And the right-hander sets up. The 1-0 delivery. Ball 2. This time outside but high. And 2 balls, no strikes. Phillies now have 9 base hits in this ball game. They have had runners on in every inning. Left 2 on in the first when they scored an unearned run. Left 1 on in the second. A double play got Mets out of a jam in the third when they had 2 men on. Now the 2-0 pitch. Fastball over, called strike. In the 4th inning, they got 2 runs on a single and a home run. In the 5th inning, they got a run on 2 hits and left 1 on. And here they have a runner at second. They count 2-1, 2 men away. And the the pitch by Gentry. Inside a ball. And the count 3 balls and 1 strike. Tony Taylor is the on-deck batter. He has been hot in this ball game, 2 for 3 with 2 runs scored. Three balls, 1 strike. Gentry set. And the pitch. Then for a call strike, and the count goes full to 3-2. Gentry has been 3-2 on his last 3 batters. Now the sign is out. Gentry set. And the pitch. Swung on and foul tipped into Grote's glove and strike 3. So Gentry strikes out 2 in the inning, surviving the double. No runs on the 1 hit. And 1 man left on. And the score. At the end of 6, the Phillies 4, the New York Mets 3.
I am going on a long journey. I will be following the stream. It is high time that I was searching for the natural thing.
At Rheingold, we brew beer with the natural things. We believe a glass of beer should be a simple thing made with natural ingredients. Good water, North Dakota barley, great American corn, imported and domestic hops, and time. A simple thing that lets Rheingold carbonate itself naturally. If you wonder why Rheingold Extra Dry tastes better than other beers, it's because we keep it simple and natural. Natural Rheingold.
It is high time that I was searching for the natural thing.
Rheingold Breweries Incorporated, New York, New York, and Orange, New Jersey, ask you to help keep America beautiful.
WOKO, the sound of America, Albany, New York, 28 minutes before 10.
We're going out of the top of the 7th inning. The Mets trailing by a score of 4-3. The Phillies have Oscar Gamble in right field. He was a pinch hitter for Byron Brown. And the Mets are going to pinch hit for Joe Foy as Wayne Garrett comes up to the plate. Foy had struck out his first 2 times up. Garrett, a left-hand batter, batting .251. Last night's ball game, Wayne had 2 hits and 5 times up, but it was a big hit, a double. And he takes the first pitch for a called strike. On the mound, Bill Wilson. He came in with the bases loaded and no one out in the 6th. Got Don Clendenin on 1 pitch to hit into a double play with the Mets getting the run. Then struck out Dave Marshall, a pinch hitter. On strike pitch, outside, and the count 1 ball and 1 strike. Montreal got a run on the top of the 5th. They lead Pittsburgh 3-1 after 4.5. Morton against Brunette. In the 2nd inning, Cubs did not score, so that game after 1.5, 0-0. St. Louis beat the Cubs in the first game 2-1. And a pitch low to Garrett, 2 balls, 1 strike. Two balls, 1 strike. Wilson with a record of 1-0. Into the windup and the pitch to Garrett. Taken high, and it's 3-1. Chris Short started the ball game for the Phillies, lasted 5 innings, was charged with 3 runs on 5 hits. He struck out 6, walked 1. The walk got him out of the ball game. Brought Bill Wilson in. The 3-1 delivery. High ball 4, and the Mets have the time run on as Garrett walks. Wayne Garrett picking up his 73rd walk. And the Mets have the time run at first with Gary Grote coming up. In the on-deck circle, Ken Boswell. Al Weiss was scheduled up. Grote has doubled and scored a run and 2 times up. Batting at .252. Mets with a time run at first, no one out in the top of the 7th inning. Wilson taking plenty of time before looking in for the signs. Now gets set. Garrett edges off at first base. And the pitch. Grote squares, bunts the ball foul. Strike 1. Mets playing for a tie here in the 7th inning. By the way, when Tommy Agee doubled in the 6th inning, it was his 175th extra base hit. No, base hit, which is a new Met record. He is one behind in extra base hits with 59. Pitch back, bunted out toward the front of home plate. It is a fair ball, and the catcher, McCarver, comes out, fields the ball, started to go to second, and then decided to go to first when he saw he had no chance at second base. Actually, what happened, McCarver charged out, and that ball was in back of him. He had to reach back to get it, and then lost the chance for a play at second. So on the sacrifice, 2-4, it puts the tying run at second and brings up Ken Boswell batting for Al White. Grant Jackson starting to throw in the bullpen for the Phillies, the left-hander. Boswell in last night's ball game had 2 hits and 4 times up. Batting .255 for the year with 44 RBIs and 5 home runs. First pitch, high a ball. Bill Wilson set to go. A check at second base. Garrett there, and the pitch back to Boswell. Lined in the center field. It should be playable. There is Larry Heisel. He makes the catch. Garrett halfway goes back to second, and the Phillies pick up their second out. That'll bring up Ken Singleton, who is batting in the pitcher's position. He was a pinch hitter in the ball game for Ron Herbel. He started a 2-run rally when he singled to right field his first time up. Pittsburgh did not score in the bottom of the 5th inning, so going to the 6th, it's Montreal 3, Pittsburgh 1. The new pitch in the ball game for Pittsburgh, Brunette is out, and John Lamb is in. Singleton batting left-handed, and he takes the strike over the outside corner, strike 1. Singleton got his base hit off Chris Short, batting right-handed. Ken batting .258 for the year. Has 50 base hits for the year. Pitch back. It is high and outside. 1 ball, 1 strike. Phillies lead 4-3. 2 men out, top of the 7th inning. The Mets have Wayne Garrett on at second base. Wilson set. Here's the pitch. High and outside. Ball 2. 2 balls, 1 strike. Wilson coming to this ball game had an earned run average of 4.98. Almost 5 runs for 9 innings. The 2-1 pitch. Swung on and fouled off. For the count, 2 balls, 2 strikes. Two balls, 2 strikes. 2 men out. Garrett at second. And the right-hander sets up. Here's the pitch. It is just outside, and Wilson was on his way to the dugout. Wilson, on his way to the dugout, thought he had Singleton struck out. Count now goes to 3-2. Wilson goes back to the mound. On deck batter for the Mets, Tommy Agee. The 3-2 count. Wilson set. Garrett at second. Here's the pitch. Swung on and missed, and Singleton is struck out, and that ends the inning. Second strikeout for Wilson, and both strikeouts have come with a runner in scoring position. No runs, no hits, no errors, a walk, a man left at second, and the score in the middle of the 7th. The Phillies 4, the Mets 3. Well, fans, as you well know, time is slowly running out on the 1970 baseball season at Shea Stadium, and only 4 more home dates remain. One of these dates is Fan Appreciation Night on Thursday, October 1st, when the Mets meet the Chicago Cubs in the final game of the season at 7:05. and the New York Mets management, by way of showing their appreciation, will give everyone who attends the game that night an attractive beverage tray, complete with colorful Met coasters, and it will prove mighty useful around the house. It's a gift every Met fan will enjoy having. So why don't you plan to be on hand for Fan Appreciation Night, Thursday, October 1st, when the Mets close out their regular season at 7:05 with the Chicago Cubs. The Mets will play the first of four against the Cubs on Monday night. That's the makeup game time at 8. They'll play Tuesday night at 8, Wednesday afternoon at 2, and Thursday night at 7:05. Going now to the bottom of the seventh inning. The Phillies leading 4-3. Mets now have Wayne Garrett playing third base, Bill Foy out, and Ken Boswell playing second, Al White's out. So it'll be Clendenin at first, Boswell at second, Harrelson at short, Garrett at third. In the outfield, Cleon Jones in left, Tommy Agee in center, and Ken Singleton in right. First batter for the Phillies will be Tony Taylor. He is 2 for 3 in this game with 2 runs scored. He singled in the first, doubled in the fifth. Taylor's had 4 hits and 7 times up in this series. Right-hand batter, batting .295. He's having his best year ever in the major leagues. 9 home runs, 53 runs batted in. On the mound, Gary Gentry. He worked the 6th inning, gave up 1 base hit, a double. Allowed no runs, left 1 on. First pitch is inside, a ball. Cardinals got a run. Now the 1-0 pitch. It is lined down deep in the left field corner. Will be extra bases. The ball is off of the wall, dropped by Cleon Jones, but Taylor goes in with a double. Ball hit high off the wall, not far from a home run, maybe about a foot. And Taylor has his 3rd hit of the ball game, his 2nd double, and the Phillies have a runner at second with no one out, with Don Money coming up. Cardinals, in the bottom of the 2nd inning, scored off Bill Hands, and the Cardinals lead Chicago 1-0 after 2. They won the first game 2-1 behind Bob Gibson's 2-hitter. Don Money has a base hit and a run batted in and 2 official times up. Clendenin looking for a sacrifice. Here's the pitch. It is taken high in bunting position, ball 1. Wayne Garrett is about even with the bag at third. Now he moves up just a little bit. Taylor has good speed on at second. The pitch back, swung on and missed. And they count 1 ball and 1 strike. Phillies lead 4-3. They have 10 base hits in the game. 2 off Gentry. Both hits off Gentry have been doubled. 6 off Sadecki, the starter. 2 off Ryan. Now at 1-1. Gentry back to the plate. Pitch is fouled back, and the count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Dick Selma starts to warm up in the bullpen for the Phillies. Selma was the losing pitcher in last night's ball game. Also lost $500 for his remarks about the umpires, signed by the National League president, Charles Finney. Now at 1-2, the pitch by Gentry. Again fouled off into the stands over the first base area. The count stays at 1-2. At the end of 5, it's Montreal 3, Pittsburgh 1. Carl Morton pitching for the Expos. John Lamb now in the ball game for the Pirates. Now Gentry again ready for the 1-2 pitch. It is inside. Money has to jump away. It hit him. So Money is nicked by the pitch, and he is on. So Gentry now in trouble. Runners at first and second, no one out, and Darren Johnson coming up. Johnson has walked and singled twice. People who care don't litter. The people of Rheingold care. They ask you to keep America beautiful. Gary Gentry losing the batter with the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes by hitting Don Money. Now the Mets are looking for a sacrifice. Runners at first and second, no one out, and Darren Johnson coming up. Johnson has walked and singled twice. People who care don't litter. The people of Rheingold care. They ask you to keep America beautiful. Gary Gentry losing the batter with the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes by hitting down money. Now the Mets are looking for a sacrifice. Darren Johnson, big power hitter. Here's the pitch. He squares around, takes high a ball, and Gentry behind 1 ball, no strike. Doug McGraw starting to warm up in the bullpen for the Mets. Now coming out to the mound is Gil Hodges. Gil Hodges has been out to the mound many times here tonight. He took Tedeschi out of the ball game in the 5th. Took Ryan out of the ball game in the 5th. And now he's out to talk to Gary Gentry. In this ball game, the Phillies got the early lead when Tony Taylor singled to center field. A hard smash to center, went through the legs of Tommy Agee, went for a single and a 2-base error for Taylor to end up at third. Now Money bounced one down to third with Joe Foy and the rest of the infield in. Foy had a play at the plate, but bobbled the ball and lost a chance to throw out Money at home. But he did pick up the out at first base. Mets batted up with a run in the 3rd. Phillies took a lead in the 4th on a 2-run home run. Got another run in the 5th. The Mets got 2 in the 6th. Now play is in, and Johnson takes the pitch inside, ball 2. Again, Johnson in bunting position. So again, Gentry missing, and they count 2 balls, no strikes. Mets won their ball game last night when Dick Selma, with runners at first and second and no one out, walked Bud Harrelson, who was trying to bunt. The 2-0 pitch, and it's in for a called strike. Darren Johnson again in bunting position, taking the pitch, and the count now 2-1. Johnson with 87 RBIs, the leading RBI man on the Phillies. Now he punches one out over first, but it's going to be foul. Darren Johnson with Don Clendenin charging, took a bunting stance, and then as the ball got to the plate, he bunted it, but bunted it hard. It was far enough that it was out of the dirt part of the infield, and it landed foul by about 2 feet. It would have been devastating. Montreal did not score in the top of the 6th. They lead 3-1 as the Pirates bat in the bottom of the 6th inning. So the count 2 balls and 2 strikes. Clendenin drops back, not figuring a bunt. Garrett also back at third. No one out. The Mets have their infield back for what they hope to be a double play. Here's the pitch. It is a check swing ground ball foul on the first base side. The count stays at 2-2. The last time up, Darren Johnson batting against Nolan Ryan had a half swing and lined a single to right. First time up, he singled to center field on a 3-2 pitch. First official time up, he had walked his first time up on a 3-2 pitch. 2 balls, 2 strikes. The Phillies leading 4-3. They have runners at first and second with no one out in the bottom of the 7th. Now Gentry ready. And the pitch. It is a curveball just outside. So Gentry again 3-2. This is the 4th time he has been 3-2 in 1 complete inning of pitching, and in pitching to 6 batters. Runners at first and second. Taylor fast at second base. Money pretty good at first. Here's a pitch. The runner's going. The pitch is popped up. So an infield fly. The batter automatically out as Boswell backs up in the outfield grass to make the catch. And Taylor gets back to second. Money back to first. Good pitch by Gary Gentry. A big pitch. That brings up Willie Montanez batting for the pitcher Bill Wilson. Willie Montanez. Last night's ball game, he was a pinch hitter and blooped a single to center field. It was part of a big 4-run inning for the Philadelphia Phillies. Montanez Batting at .300, he has had 6 hits and 20 times up. The Cubs did not score in the top of the third. The Cardinals lead 1-0 after 2.5. Cardinals won the first game 2-1 behind Bob Gibson's 2-hitter. Willie Montanez pinch hitting for the pitcher Bill Wilson. That means Dick Thelma will be the next pitcher in the ball game for the Phillies. Runners at first and second. Montanez, a left-hand batter. He has good speed. Gentry backs off the pitching rubber, and here comes manager Gil Hodges out. We could have Tug McGraw in this ball game. Tug McGraw warming up in the bullpen, and Gil Hodges hesitating before going over the baseline. Now goes on over and goes out to the mound. Gentry stands with his arms folded, looking out toward the bullpen. Art Shamsky is going out toward right field. Art Shamsky will be going in the ball game as Tug McGraw comes in, so that means they'll be switching batting positions. Shamsky will bat in the 5th batting position, and Singleton going out, who was in the 9th batting position from an earlier switch. We'll see McGraw bat in his position. McGraw coming in has a record of 3-6. This will be his 52nd appearance. Last time out was 3 1/3 innings against Pittsburgh. He was the losing pitcher as the Pirates won in the 10th inning by a score of 9-5.
Now the Philadelphia Phillies are making the change, and to tell you about that, here's Ralph Kiner.
All right, Lindsey Nelson, with Willie Montanez up and a left-hand batter, and Tug McGraw coming in the ball game, a left-hand pitcher. Frank Lucchese, the manager of the Phillies, has substituted Jim Hutto, a right-hand batter. Hutto. Jim hitting .187 for the year with 3 home runs and 12 runs batted in. In the ball game, Art Shamsky has taken over in right field. So the Mets have Shamsky in right, Agee in center, Jones in left. Jones just now completing throwing a little bit to keep his arm loose. Phillies have runners at first and second, 1 man out, bottom of the 7th inning, and they lead 4-3. So right here, a big job for Tug McGraw. Tug has a screwball that's effective against right-hand batters. And he checks out the signs from Jerry Goody. He gets set, and the pitch. It is in for a call strike. Just before the pitch, Harrelson had moved over to second to move Taylor back to second base, and then he broke back to his shortstop position. Taylor, a fast man at second. Money on at first. Taylor had doubled. Money was hit by a pitch to get on with the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes on it. Now at 1 strike. McGraw double checks at second. Here's the pitch. A screwball hit down to short. A play at second for Harrelson. A throw there in time on the first. A double play. So McGraw doing a great job getting Hutto to ground into a double play. A fine play on the play by Harrelson as he charged the ball, fielded the ball right on the edge of the infield grass, threw back to second base to Boswell, and Boswell's throw on the first base was in time. So it's a 6-4-3 double play. In the inning, no runs, 1 hit, no errors, and 1 man left on. And the score at the end of 7, the Phillies 4, the New York Mets 3. Now here's...
My men shop at Lafayette Radio. Where are you going today, Sam?
Lafayette Radio, that's where I'm bound, yeah. It's the home of stereo sound. Buying power, brings prices down. Lafayette is the home of stereo sound. Lafayette Radio, that's where I'm bound.
Lafayette Radio is your summer fun headquarters, and now you can save on these specials. Binoculars 7x35, now $16.95. Walkie-talkies for out-of-doors fun, boating, hiking, or fishing, $5.95 and up. There's 23,000 items in stock, all at Lafayette Radio, 79 Central Avenue in Albany. Other convenient locations in Schenectady, Glens Falls, and Pittsfield, Massachusetts.
It's the home of stereo sound.
We're going now to the top of the 8th inning. The Mets behind by 1, and now for the play-by-play in this exciting ball game, Lindsey Nelson.
Thank you very much, Ralph Cannon. Hello, everybody. Dick Selma's on the mound now, making his 70th appearance. He was the losing pitcher last night when he worked the 9th inning. He's been credited with 22 saves this year for the Philadelphia Phillies. He is a former New York Met. And Tommy Agee, top of the batting order, is up to lead off for the New York Mets. Off Selma last night. Agee singled to right to drive in the tying and winning run. Here's the first pitch, and it swung on and pops up to first base. And right there is Darren Johnson to make the catch. Last night, Agee scribbled one through off the handle to right field. That time, he was jammed again and popped it up to first. The Pittsburgh Pirates did not score in the 6th. Montreal is coming up in the 7th inning, leading the Pirates 3-1. Now Bud Harrelson is coming up for the Mets. He is a switch-hitter batting left. He had a single to drive in a run in the top of the 6th. Harrelson is 1 for 3 here tonight. Dick Selma, hard-throwing right-hander, and the pitch is high for a ball. Third baseman Don Money stays on the grass, thinking that Harrelson might try to bunt his way on. The Phillies are leading by a score of 4-3 here. Here's a pitch that is fired and for a called strike. It's 1-1. Leon Jones is waiting on deck. This is a 1-1 delivery. Curve ball swung on and missed. It's 1-2. Selma has been very effective in late inning relief this year for the Phillies. He has a blazing fastball. Here's a 1-2 delivery. Breaking pitch, it misses low, and the count goes 2-2 now to Bud Harrelson. The 2-2 delivery. Curveball high, and it's out full at 3-2. Darren Johnson playing first base over near the line, guarding it. Trying to protect against the extra base hit possibility. This will be a big payoff pitch coming here, and it's on the way. Swung on, and it's fouled on the left field line. Ron Stone gives chase, but it's in the seats and out of play. So the count stays full at 3-2. The Mets are looking for a base runner. Looking for some way to get the tying run on board here in the top half of the 8th inning. Selma bends forward from the waist to get the sign. Here's the 3-2 delivery. He walked in high and tight. So now Harrelson goes to first. The tying run is on. Lee Park for station identification. This is the New York Mets Baseball Network.
This is WOKO in Albany, New York. Our temperature 72 degrees. Cohoes Savings Bank time is now 2 till 10. Time to get a safe deposit box for your valuables at Cohoes Savings Bank.
This is Lindsey Nelson with Ralph Tanner and Bob Murphy at Connie Mack Stadium in Philadelphia, where the Phillies are leading the Mets by a score of 4-3. The Mets are batting in the 8th with a runner at first and one man out. Leon Jones steps into the batter's box. Selma's pitch in there for a called strike. Jones is 0 for 2 in a walk. He has slid to right, grounded out third to first and walked. He was unhappy with the call on the last pitch by plate umpire Dick Selma. Dick Selma last night after the ball game leveled all sorts of charges at the umpires. As a result, he was fined $500 by Chubb Feeney, the president of the National League. This umpiring crew was not entirely satisfied with his apology. Here's a throw to first, not in time. Selma went into the umpire's room before the ball game and made a personal apology. Strike one delivery to Jones. Curveball and a tie. 1-1. Waiting on deck is Don Clendenis. Darren Johnson is holding against the runner at first base. Selma sets up 1-1 pitch. Swung on, foul back. It's out of play, and the count's 1-2. Tim McCarver is the catcher for the Philadelphia Phillies. He has spent most of the season on the sidelines with a busted hand. Teams have been known to run on McCarver. This will be a 1-2 pitch. Off the stretch. Breaking pitch low. It's 2-2. Already tonight, the Cardinals have defeated the Cubs in the first game of their doubleheader, and the Cards are leading in the second game. Montreal is leading the Pittsburgh Pirates. That makes this game doubly big here at Johnny Mac Stadium as far as the Mets are concerned. Breaking pitch, swung on and missed, struck him out. Jones is out, 2 away. Now Don Clendenon, he's gone 0 for 3 here tonight. Grounded out short the first, fly to center, and grounded into a double play. Clendenon was up with the bases loaded, nobody out in the 6th inning. Billy Wilson was brought in to pitch to him, and he hit into a double play. Wilson pitched 2 innings here tonight, allowed no runs, no hits. Wilson pitched 2 1/3 last night, allowed no runs and 1 hit. So Big Don Clendenon handles that bat loosely at the plate. Here's Selma's pitch. It is high for a ball. Art Shamsky is on deck. Bud Harrelson's the runner at first. Selma set. Breaking pitch. It's hit deep to left. Way back. Could be. Going. Home run for Don Clendenon. Off the facade of the upper deck. And the New York Mets go out in front by a score of 5-4 on Don Clendenon's 21st home run of the season. He hit a Dick Selma fastball off the facade of the upper deck in left field, and the New York Mets are leading in the ball game for Don Clendenon. That is his 3rd home run against the Phillies this year. All of them hit here at Johnny Mac Stadium. His last one is against the Pirates on the 20th of September. Don Clendenon with a 2-run homer, and the Mets have taken the lead. Art Shamsky's up there now with 2 men out. The pitch is high inside, rocked him back. The Mets are batting in the top of the 8th, and they're out in front by a score of 5-4. Here's a pitch in for a called strike, and it's 1-1 to Shamsky, batting for his first time tonight. He did not start the ball game because the Philadelphia Phillies started a left-hander, Chris Short. 1-1, offering is on the way. It's a fastball high and tight, and it goes 2 balls and a strike. Now to Shamsky. Wayne Garrett is on deck. Clendenon. He hit a shot. It wasn't a fly ball. He ripped it on a line. Montreal did not score in the 7th. The Pirates are coming up in the bottom of the 7th. Montreal still leading 3-1. Has a breaking pitch in for a called strike. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Art Shamsky. Left-hander Grant Jackson's up and throwing in the bullpen for the Philadelphia Phillies. 2-2 pitch to Shamsky. Swung on and foul back. He stays alive at 2-2. And there's action down in the Met bullpen. Right now, Ron Taylor's up and throwing. Ron Taylor is throwing in the Met bullpen. Here's a 2-2 pitch to Shamsky. Swung on and foul back. It's out of play. This is the first time tonight that the New York Mets have been either even or out in front in this ball game. The Phillies scored in the bottom half of the first inning. The Mets did even it up in the 3rd, but then the Phils went out in front 3-1 when they got 2 in the 4th. There's a swing and a miss, strike 3. Selma got 2 strikeouts, but he gave up a 2-run homer. So it's 2 runs on 1 hit, a walk, no errors, and none left. In the middle of the 8th inning, the score is the Mets 5 and the Phillies 4.
What's a smile worth? Self-confidence? Hard to pin a price on them? Sure, but people have been doing it for years and shortchanging themselves. Too many thought the cost of dental care too high and sold short. Result? Poor and unsightly teeth. Now Blue Shield announces a prepaid dental care program that puts regular dental care within reach of families who want or are unable to afford it. For complete information, contact the Dental Services Department, Blue Shield Albany. Available to groups of 50 or more.
At Woodpeck Motors, your authorized Plymouth, Chrysler, and Imperial dealer, where the selection of the hot new Roadrunners is the largest, the service is the fastest, and the prices are right. Today, learn why no one walks from Whitbeck and why.
It's a good day to buy a new car.
Tech Motors, 6th Avenue, Troy.
WOKO, the home of the Mets for the Capital District.
The Met pitcher is Doug McGraw, who came in the bottom of the 7th inning to get Jim Hutto to hit into an inning-ending double play and get the Mets out of a dangerous spot. It's Tim McCarver, left-hand batting catcher, coming up to lead off for the Phillies here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The Mets 5 runs, 6 hits. The Phillies 4 runs, 10 hits. McCarver has grounded out, single to center, and fouled out to third base. Doug McGraw into the motion. Pitch is fired low. Past Brody. On back, and it's 1-0. Ron Taylor continues to throw in the Met bullpen. Mets have used 5 pitchers here tonight. Ray Sadecki started, worked 4 innings. Nolan Ryan worked a third of an inning. 1-0 pitch. It's high. Ron Herbel worked 2/3. Gary Gentry worked 1 1/3, and now Doug McGraw. 2-0 is the count to McCarver, and when you have a 1-run lead, you don't want to put him on. Pitch is inside. McGraw's gone behind. 3-0. That brings Doug McGraw in from, Bud Harrelson in to see McGraw from the posted shortstop, and Ken Dunnard's coming over. This is what happened to the New York Mets last night. They were leading by a run, and the Phillies were coming up in the 9th, and Dean Chance walked the leadoff batter. All right, Ken Dunnard goes back to first. Harrelson goes back to his posted short. The count is 3 balls and no strikes. The leadoff man, Tim McCarver, with Oscar Gamble on deck. It's fired right down the pipe for a called strike. 3-1 to McCarver. The 3-1 delivery. Swung on and ripped down the right field line. It'll be extra bases for McCarver. He's around first on his way to second. Dempsey is in the bullpen retrieving the ball. Fires it in a stand-up double leading off the bottom of the 8th for Tim McCarver. Now Dean Chance is getting up to throw in the bullpen for the New York Mets. Oscar Gamble is coming up. Dean Chance is up and throwing in the bullpen. The Phillies have the tying run at second at the bottom of the 8th with nobody out. That was a 3-1 pitch, and it was ripped right down the right field line. Rolled all the way down into the Philly bullpen in the right field corner. Oscar Gamble. On that here now. Went up one time, and he lined out to second base. He's a left-hand batter. Glenn Dennon in on the grass at first, expecting a sacrifice attempt here. Garrett hanging around to cut out of the grass at third. Here's a pitch. Gamble swings and fouls it back. He took the full cut. Oscar Gamble is hitting .262 for the year. He's had 1 homer and 18 runs batted in. Mets figuring it's a home club but try to sacrifice him over, so Clendenon stays about 45 feet away from the plate, well in on the grass at first. McGraw takes the sign from Grody. He sets up. Here's the pitch. Gamble ready to swing away. Watches low, and it's a ball. Again, he was not bunting, and so Clendenon retreats a few steps now. McCarver is the runner at second base. Larry Heisel is on deck. The Mets are leading 5-4, with the Phillies threatening in the bottom of the 8th inning. Pitch to Gamble, swung on, fouled out to the left side. On the pitch, Clendenon was charging again. Pittsburgh did not score in the bottom of the 7th inning, going to the 8th. Montreal 3 and Pittsburgh 1. Chicago did not score in the 4th. Going to the bottom of the 4th, it is the Cardinals 1 and the Cubs nothing. Mets trying to get out of a jam here in the bottom half of the 8th inning to protect a 1-run lead. Here's a 1-2 pitch to Oscar Gamble. Breaking pitch, swung on and tipped back into the glove of Grody for the strikeout. Grody hanging on, and it is one away. Doug McGraw got him with a curveball. Now Larry Heisel is coming up. He's been nothing but trouble for the Mets tonight. He doubled in the 2nd inning and hit a 2-run homer in the 4th, but was struck out by Gentry in the 6th. He bats number 8 in the order. Heissel's hitting .204 for the season, but he's been rough of late and rough on the Mets. McGraw pops the ball in his glove once or twice. At third base now against the right-hand batter, Wayne Garrett is guarding that line. The big gap between Garrett and shortstop Bud Harrelson. That ball is low, and it's ball one to Heisel. He's followed by Ron Stone, a left-hand batting outfielder. Stone bats number 9 in the present batting order of the Philadelphia Phillies. So Stone is on deck, swinging the bat loosely. 1-0 pitch, swung on, and did he hold up? It was a check swing, and plate umpires asking for the first base umpire, Dave Davidson, to give him an opinion. He said he swung the bat. So it is 1-1. Heisel started to swing, checked the pitch, which was down in the dirt, and plate umpire Dick Stello had indicated that it was a ball, then asked an opinion of Dave Davidson at first, who said he took a swing. It's 1-1. McGraw sets up. 1-1 pitch. Fastball hit on the ground to second base. Boswell is there. Up with it. Goes to Clendenin. 2 away. McCarver moves to third on the infield out. Now Ron Stone is a left-hand batter. He is being called back to the dugout. We're going to get somebody else coming up for him. They want to play righty-lefty here. Ricky Joseph. Ricardo Joseph is coming out. He is a right-hand batter, an infielder by trade. Ricky Joseph is hitting .229 for the year. He has 3 home runs and 10 runs batted in. Rick Joseph is batting for Ron Stone. This is strictly righty-lefty. So the Mets are leading by a score of 5-4. The Phillies have the tying run at third, represented by Tim McCarver. There are 2 men out as Rick Joseph steps into the batter's box. The Phils are batting in the bottom of the 8th. McGraw is working straight away. Fastball, and it's a little low. Ball 1. Dean Chance continues to throw in the Met bullpen. McGraw reads the sign of Jerry Grody. Here's a pitch just missing. A little low. McGraw has gone behind 2-0 on Rick Joseph. Bud Chad Grant has been brought in by the Pittsburgh Pirates now in the 8th inning with Montreal batting. He is a third pitcher to work tonight for the Pirates. Montreal is leading 3-1. Here's a 2-0 pitch to Joseph. Curveball swung on and missed. It is 2-1. St. Louis did not score in the 4th. The Cubs are coming up in the 5th inning with the Cardinals leading them 1-0. Cardinals won the first game tonight by a score of 2-1. This will be a 2-1 pitch now to Rick Joseph. It's on the way. Check swing foul ball to the right side on the ground and out of play. Count is 2 balls and 2 strikes to Joseph. He backs out of the batter's box, reaches down to get a handful of dirt, tosses to the side, takes a look at McGraw. Moves the dirt out in the batter's box. Taps the edge of the plate. Moves in now. McGraw tugs at the bill of his cap. Takes the ball out of the glove. Puts it back in. Looks in for the sign now. He looks at McCarver leading off the bag at third. Here's a 2-2 pitch. Swung out and missed. He struck him out, and they're out of the inning. McGraw runs about 3 steps off the mound toward the dugout. And now McCarver has died at third on McGraw's second strikeout of the inning. No runs are hit, no errors, and 1 man left. At the end of 8 full innings of play, the score is the Mets 5 and the Phillies 4. Now the Philadelphia Phillies make a change in left. Scott Reed is in to play left field. Wayne Garrett is up for the Mets, and he fouls it off for strike 1. Mets are batting here in the top of the 9th, facing Dick Selma. Wayne Garrett's been up 1 time in this game, and he drew a walk. Again, Selma into the motion. The strike 1 delivery's on the way. Breaking pitch, it's high, 1-1. Selma is the pitcher of record for the Philadelphia Phillies.
There's a breaking pitch outside. Tug McGraw is the pitcher of record for the New York Mets. With Garrett at the plate, Jerry Grody is next in the New York Mets batting order. Selma's 2-1 delivery is swung on, and it is lined up the middle for a base hit for Wayne Garrett. Larry Heisel comes over, shoots it up, plays it back. Garrett turns and holds with a single to center field. Leading off here in the ninth inning. That'll bring up Jerry Grody. Montreal Expos did not score in the eighth inning. The Pittsburgh Pirates are coming up in the bottom of the eighth with Montreal leading 3-1. Jerry Grody has doubled. Slide to right and sacrifice. He takes a look down to Eddie Yost, the sign man at third now, to see if he is sacrificing Wayne Garrett over to second. Ken Boswell is on deck. The Mets are leading 5-4. The ball is bunted up into the air, and it is taken there momentarily by Selma. Now he throws to second for the force play. And the force is made there as Garrett came back to the bag at first. As the ball was popped up, Selma had decided that he would let it hit and see what kind of a play he could effect in a possible double play. But Garrett had come back to the bag at first base, and so then when Selma bobbled the ball, he picked it up, had an easy play at second because both the Met base runners were at first. So it's simply a force play. The put-out goes to the shortstop, Larry Boyle. The assist to Selma. Grody attempting to sacrifice his bunted into a force play. He's the runner at first, and Boswell is up. Boswell's been up one time, and he flied deep to center field. Fastball is in for a called strike. Grody, in trying to sacrifice, popped the ball up out toward the mound. There's a swing and a foul ball off a breaking pitch on the ground back of first. Yogi Berra came up with the ball after Darren Johnson had taken a swipe at it and come up empty. Boswell bats number 8 in the Mets batting order, and Tug McGraw bats 9. He's windmilling the bat out there on deck. The count is 2 strikes to Boswell. There's a swing and a foul ball back and out of play. Selma had decided when he saw that ball popped up that he would try to pull the intentional muff and take a shot at getting 2, but he scribbled it off. No rush, because when he did get control, both the Met base runners were still at first. There's a swing and a fly ball down the left field line. Long run for Scott Reed, and he makes the catch in fair territory, just coming across the line, and Grody retreats to first base. Boswell with a fly ball right down the left field line. It was a long run for Scott Reed, but he got there and made the catch about a foot in fair territory and came across the line. Tug McGraw is coming up. Tug McGraw at the plate this year is 4 for 12. He's had 5 runs batted in. Grody is at first and 2 men are out. The Mets are leading by a score of 5-4. Dick Selma sets up, checks the runner. Here's the pitch to McGraw. He checks on it, but does not swing, and it's outside for a ball. Tommy Agee is waiting on deck. Darren Johnson's playing behind the runner at first. Grody leads. Curveball hit on the ground to short. Big hop to Boa. He goes to Tony Taylor for the force at second, and the side is retired. So the Mets got no runs ahead, a hit, no errors, and 1 man left. In the middle of the ninth inning, the score is the Mets 5 and the Phillies 4.
In the morning, about 6 o'clock, the ninth wonder of the world takes place.
Henry, it's time to get up.
Join me at 6 to 10 on the Tom Rambler Show and the Sound of America. We try to make things just a little bit more pleasant than what you're used to, perhaps. Join me on the Tom Rambler Show and the Sound of America, WOKO.
Henry, it's Sunday. Go back to sleep.
You're listening to the Sound of America, WOKO, 1460 Radio in Albany. WOKO brings you the best in good time music, all-American sports, and essential information 24 hours a day. Come on home to the Sound of America. Come on home to WOKO.
Stadium in Pittsburgh, the Pirates did not score in the 8th inning. Montreal is coming up in the 9th, leading the Pirates by a score of 3-1. In St. Louis, in the second game, the Cubs did not score in the 5th. The Cardinals are coming up in the bottom of the 5th, leading the Cubs by a score of 1-0. Cardinals won the first game of the Twilight at 2-1. Right here, the Mets are leading 5-4. Tug McGraw will be facing the top of the Philly batting order here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Larry Boa, the switch-hitting shortstop, will lead off. He has fouled to the catcher, grounded out short to first, grounded out third to first, and struck out. He's batting right against the left-hander, Tug McGraw. Wayne Garrett, the third baseman, moves into the cutout of the grass at third. The remainder of the Met alignment stays the same as it was. No defensive changes here in the 9th inning. Shamsky is still in right field. Tug McGraw into the motion. Breaking pitch in there for a called strike to Larry Boa. He's followed in the batting order by tough Tony Taylor. So again, takes a look around. Into the motion. Strike one delivery. Fastball a little low. It's 1-1. McGraw came in the 7th. Got huddled in into a double play. 2/3 of an inning credited to him there. Then he worked the 8th inning. So this is the 3rd inning in which he has worked. Fastball fouled off. It's 1-2. Ball came back into the stand. McGraw standing just behind the rubber. Larry Boa back in, swinging the bat loosely. Now McGraw is up and taking the side. He's into the motion, the 1-2 pitch. Breaking pitch swung on and missed. He struck him out. McGraw went to the screw key to get the right-hand batter. The 3rd strikeout for Tug McGraw. And that has at least temporarily ended the hitting streak of Larry Boa. He brought an 18-game hitting streak into this game, but he has gone 0 for 5 here tonight. Tony Taylor's up. He has been the man the Mets haven't been able to deal with. He singled and then went to third when Agee committed a 2-base error on his line drive in the first inning. He doubled in the 5th and he doubled in the 7th. He's a right-hand batter, a major league veteran. McGraw now looks in, gets the side. Here's the pitch. And it's high for a ball to Tony Taylor. He's followed in the batting order by Don Money. The Mets lead 5-4. The Phillies are batting in the bottom of the 9th inning. Has a fastball down the pipe for a called strike. Got a little mustard on it. It's 1-1. Jody sends out the sign. 1-1 pitch. Breaking pitch. It's a little high. 2-1 now to Tony Taylor. This is a 2-1 delivery on the way. Fastball fouled off. It's 2-2 now to Tony Taylor. Tug McGraw, the 5th pitcher to work in this game tonight for the New York Mets, is the pitcher of record for the Mets at this point. Dick Somer is the pitcher of record at this point for the Philadelphia Phillies. Here's a 2-2 delivery to Taylor. Breaking pitch, swung out and missed. He had him way out in front as he took a lot off of that one. And Tony Taylor was set for the fastball, and he is out swinging. 2 strikeouts for McGraw, 4 in the ball game, 2 in this inning. So with 2 men out and nobody on, Don Money's out. Don Money grounded out third to first, had a base hit, had a sacrifice fly to drive and a run, and was hit by a pitch ball. He's a right-hand batter. Hitting .302 for the year. Draws pitch swung on and foul back. It's out of play. Goody comes back halfway, but it's well back. Strike 1 to Don Money. The Mets 5, the Phillies 4. McGraw again takes Goody's side. Swings into the motion. Pitch is on the way. It's in there for a call strike. A breaking pitch. It's 0-2 now to Don Money as McGraw broke that ball into the strike zone. And he swings it out a couple of times. 2 men out, nobody on base. There's McGraw now, again with the pitch. It's on the way. Swung out and missed. Struck him out, and the ball game is over. McGraw has struck out the side in the 9th inning. He has struck out 5 all told. He is the winning pitcher. Dick Selma, for the second consecutive night, is the losing pitcher. The New York Mets have swept the 2-game series in Philadelphia to tighten up the race in the Eastern Division of the National League and to keep the hopes of the New York Mets aflame in this pennant race. In the 9th inning, no runs, no hits, no errors, none left. We'll be back in a moment with a final summary and totals. Right now, the final score of this ball game is the New York Mets 5 and the Philadelphia Phillies 4. The New York Mets have come from behind here tonight to pull one out on a big one, and to tell you how they did it, here is Ralph Kiner.
Paul, it was the clutch hitting of Don Clendenin, who has been the hitting star for the Mets all year long. He came up and with a 2-run home run off Dick Selma put the Mets in front, and then Tug McGraw came through with a tremendous relief performance to save the ball game. For Don Clendenin, it was his 13th gamer, and it was his 21st home run of the year. It came in the 8th inning. He now has 92 runs batted in. McGraw came in the ball game with runners at second and third, and he got Jim Hutto, a pinch hitter, to hit into a double play to end the inning in the 7th inning. He then, in the 8th inning, gave up a leadoff double, but then struck out 2 of the next 3 batters. In the 9th inning, he struck out 3 in a row to pick up his win. Doug McGraw, it was his 4th win of the year. He has lost 6. Dick Selma, the losing pitcher, losing 2 in a row to the Mets here in relief, now with a record of 7-9. Since Dick Selma left the Mets have defeated him 5 times in the last 2 years. So temporarily, the Mets are within 2.5 games of Pittsburgh. The Pirates are batting in the bottom of the 9th inning. If they lose their ball game, they're trailing 3-1. The Mets would be 2 games back. In the ball game, the Philadelphia Phillies took the lead in the 1st inning when they got an unearned run. The New York Mets came back to tie up the ball game in the 3rd inning on a double by Jerry Grody and a 2-out base hit by Tommy Agee. But then on a 2-run home run by Larry Heisel, the Phillies took the lead by a score of 3-1. They added another run in the 5th inning on a double by Tony Taylor and a single by Darren Johnson and a sacrifice fly in between, and it was a 4-1 ball game. The Mets then got back in the ball game as they picked up 2 runs in the 6th inning. Ken Singleton led off with a single to right field. Chris Short was still in the ball game as a starting pitcher. Tommy Agee doubled to center field to put Singleton over at 3rd base. With runners at 2nd and 3rd, Bud Harrelson singled on a 3-2 pitch to left field to drive in Singleton from 3rd base. Cleon Jones worked out a walk in a 3-1 pitch, and with the bases loaded, it brought up Don Clendenin. Don hit into a double play in the 1st pitch with a run scoring, and then Bill Wilson, who came in the ball game, struck out Dave Marshall to end the inning. But the Mets had pulled up with 3 runs to a 4-3 position. They then came on to get 2 runs in the 8th inning on the 2-run home run by Don Clendenin. In the 8th inning with Dick Selma in the ball game, Tommy Agee popped up to 1st base. Bud Harrelson, who has a tremendous walk ratio, walked on the 3-2 pitch to put the tying run at 1st. Cleon Jones was struck out on the curveball for the 2nd out of the inning. Then Don Clendenin lined a home run into left field, and the Mets went out in front by a score of 5-4, and that's the way the ball game ended.